good. There we go, baby. So, hello everyone, it was time for summertime anime. All the summertime. Gonna do a long stream here, covering all goddamn summer animes, right? So here you see my Midsommarkrans. That is just been midsummer now. In Sweden, which is the grass holiday thing. No, but seriously, Midsommar is... I'll say it here again, right? Midsommar is this huge... it's the biggest holiday in Sweden. And I haven't celebrated it this year, right? But of course, growing up, celebrated it. But basically, it's the huge summer holiday, right? Like the summer holiday, you celebrate it when the sun has the most, minutes of sunlight, which is like 24 hours in Sweden. Like, it's horrible. Like my hometown, the sun doesn't go down during summer. Like seriously, yeah. In my hometown, the sun doesn't go down during these weeks here, right? It's very hot here too, for that matter, where I'm currently at. It's very hot today. But yeah, the sun doesn't even go down there, right? So people have a lot of time. Some people have a lot of hard time sleeping, right, during summer anime season in Sweden, right? Because like, oh, it's sun 24 hours per day for like a month. You're like, oh, yeah, great. So my hometown, the sun kind of started twilight and then goes up again. So it's never dark. It's never dark for like a month. Fun time. But summertime anime, baby, right? So yeah, we're gonna have what I'm waiting for the most, right? It's like, yeah, this is gonna be great. So what I'm waiting for the most, it is this I don't know, hate love, right? Hate love for mommy, man. That's what I'm waiting for the most, right? Yeah. Basically, right? So, we're gonna go over all the animes, right? So what we do here then is that I'm gonna go into live chart and we're gonna look at all the animes, seriously, like 50 animes, like the movies, right? And we're gonna go over all of them, right? There's them all. But some of the big hits, right? I think it's gonna be Rent a Girlfriend, of course, with Mami and so on, right? And Kazuya, Simp Lord, the Simp Cringe. And it is an anime that I definitely gonna have to keep watching, right? And I truly hate this anime, right? In a way, I really hate it. But at the same time, it's so cringe, you know what I mean? And like, for this summer season, right? Rent a Girlfriend definitely is the anime where you feel like, oh, it's like watching fire, right? Moth to the flame. It's like watching a car fire. And then another car hits the fire too. You're like, oh, it's burning even more now, and you just keep watching it, right? It's not good, but you're like, man, look at that fire over there. Yeah, that is summertime. That is, Rent a Girlfriend's just like, it's the worst thing ever, in like a good, bad way, right? Then we also have, cute stuff like Hestia coming back and so on, right? And my, of course, most returning anime that I'm really into is, of course, the Demon is reverse Isekai, right? Demon is a part-time worker, which is an anime that aired like, I don't know, 7-8 years ago, way before I did anime stuff on YouTube and so on, right? Definitely a show that I look forward to a lot to watch, right? Because it's one of my favorite old school reverse Isekais, whatever, right? So that's probably my biggest hit coming this season. And I like DanMachi, right? So yeah, and of course, DanMachi is one. But anyway, let's go into the list, right? So here's the list. See all the goddamn animes, right? So what we're gonna do, right, is that we're gonna go over, like I said, we're gonna go over every anime, talk about the babes, talk about the vampire gyros and so on, right? And basically cover like a lot of animes, guys, which is my one of my favorite things to do, actually. I'm gonna cover all these animes over this season, right? Let me put in the camera this morning, maybe. That's good enough. So this list then, right, is following popularity. So yeah, it's so basically, right, it's how's it? We're gonna go popularity wise, right? So One Piece is the most popular show, and whatever. Obviously, One Piece, we're watching it, reading manga, right? Yeah, obviously. So whatever. So Overlord is coming back, and I would say this thing, right? I'm honest, guys. I like Overlord, but I don't love. I don't know. Yeah, I'm honest here. I like Overlord, but it's obviously a 4, obviously. I've seen, previously, I've seen, of course, Isekai and so on. Ainz, Albado and so on, right? OP Isekai guy. I like Overlord, but I never truly loved it. I don't think it is not my favorite Isekai. It's a good Isekai, but it's not my favorite, right? It is probably one of my more favorable OP Isekai, right? The typical super, very, very powerful main character. So it's definitely up there, but it's not like my favorite Isekai, like, you know, Mushoku Tensei or whatever. Like, it's not on that level, I feel. But it's arguably the best, like, you know, OP Isekai, right? It's like, which is probably almost mostly the most, like, OP Isekai, right? Is probably arguably the most popular, like, Isekai sub-genre, right? And so I can see if Overlord is popular, right? But yeah, I'm giving it like a considering. Yeah, so basically, yellow, you know, green for me is like must watch, and Overlord I feel is like I'm gonna watch Overlord, but it's a little bit like, yeah, I don't think it's the best Isekai. But anyway, here of course, an anime that I really wanna watch, Hatakuru Mao-Osama. This is my number one this season, right? As it says there, second season of the Part-Time Worker. As I mentioned earlier, right? This is like one of the most classic, I feel, animes, right? It feels like today, this feels like an iconic anime that I can't even remember. Like, I was like, when did it air? When did it air the last time, right? Like, it's been so long that you're like, oh yeah, this thing aired, you know, with McDonald's. Yeah, I'm gonna work at a food place and become a rich overlord. Yeah, it's like, it's all, I remember it even aired 12, 13, right? So that also makes it really fun that this anime is coming back, because again, right, it's been probably one of the longest breaks between two animes, right? Or seasons, I mean. I'm thinking, can it be any other anime that's been that long? Zero was like 5 years right from that. That's also very long. And then they had the delay with Corona and so on. But this anime has to be longer, yeah. This anime aired before, so it's like 7, 8 years, whatever. So it's almost a record, right? For a second season, finally they come here, yeah. But anyway, it's about, basically, right, it's a reverse Isekai, right? The demon lord comes to Earth instead, and he's like, oh, I have no powers anymore, but I'm gonna become rich and famous and take over the planet by, I don't know, corporate management. So, so it's a really fun anime. Then of course, a love story with him and the Holy Knight, Emilia and so on, which is cute. So it's actually one of my old school favorite anime. Definitely my number one, right? This is probably. DanMachi, of course, will make well soon. Mine too, I guess. I never really got into this anime, seriously. Second season of Elite High School. What is it called? Classroom of the Elite in English. Sorry. I was saying Swedish. Yeah. Classroom of the Elite. Also an anime that I will admit I never really super good into, right? So basically it's a school setting and everyone in the school is super OP, right? Yeah. And everyone's a genius and so on. Yeah. I mean, it's not like a terrible anime. It was an anime that I was like, yeah, it's pretty okay, but I will say a little bit. So this anime I'm watching, but I'll say this thing, right? I stopped watching this anime because I got a copyright issue on that, right? So that's why I stopped watching the anime. But it's a pretty good, you know, harem anime, right? I'm not watching it, or what is the whatever. But you get my point. It's not the best anime ever. Basically, it's airing right now, right? Cuckoo's Next. I would love to keep watching it, but as I said, right, the copyright issues, then you kind of like avoid it, right? But yeah, it's fun anime, right? Guy has to live with his, I guess, sister, kind of, right? Like stepsister, I guess they are. You know, they got stopped at birth, right? And it's a cute harem anime, right? It's a cute harem anime, you know. Seriously, it's not the best harem anime, but it's a good harem anime. I definitely enjoy it. Under Stone, definitely watching this, right? This is a movie, I guess. It's like a 1 hour special movie. The Stone, one of my actually favorite animes, right? I really love The Stone. Season 2 was weaker than Season 1, but I really loved it. I think it was very strange though that Season 2 had like almost no one talking about it. But when The Stone was airing, and I said when it was airing too, so I point out here, when Season 2 was airing The Stone, right? That was like one of the greatest anime seasons ever. It had like 7, 8 major animes, right? It was airing on the same week, right? Like that season, that time, like last year, whatever it was, it was like one of the strongest seasons ever. Like seriously, it was like FC, Attack on Titan, everything on the same time, right? And I felt this anime again. I really at The Stone. No one talked about Season 2. I felt that's like the only guy talking about it. It was so strange how Season 1 was very popular, and Season 2 was like also great, but it was like it felt like it was overshadowed by like 10 other massively popular animes. That Season 2 was like basically no one thought about it. It was very, very weird in that way. But anyway, yeah, this is like Season 3 kind of part between 2 and 3, right? It's a movie though, but so I don't know why it's here. It should probably actually be another place, but whatever. Here we go. DanMachi, baby. Of course, a classic anime. Season 4. I can see a lot of people probably haven't been, you know, keeping up with it, right? But I really love this anime. It's one of the... I'll say it, right? It's a classic. One of the first fantasy animes I think it was big. Obviously, Aisha is the best female character. Gotta put it around there, right? You know, look at that. Tanned Amazon babe, right? Yeah. So, how can you explain DanMachi? I think everyone probably seen like the first season, right? But basically, DanMachi, right? It's like similar to I guess maybe later, but it's like this big, you know, dungeon in the middle, right? Everyone goes down there to fight monsters, and they're all part of different gods' houses, right? So we are following this really weak god, Hestia. She got big boobs though, but otherwise she's terrible, right? And yeah, you know, it's about her main boy, right? Trying to get friends or whatever. But it's like a really nice fantasy anime with, I would say one thing though, this is the fantasy anime, the way I describe the DanMachi is that it's a fantasy anime with gaming elements, right? They have levels and so on. So first in anime, you kind of had, you know, the basic fantasy animes, right? Which is fantasies, right? And then you had the Isekais, I would say, right? Kind of at the same time, kind of coming in later. And then you kind of had the mixture, right? Where you have fantasy, and you also have these kind of animes, where it's like, you know, fantasy plus like a gaming elements. I think DanMachi is kind of coming into that category, right? Kind of second level of fantasy, where it's fantasy, it's not Isekai, definitely not, but it's fantasy. However, it is using those game elements they usually find, right, in Isekais, right, where the character levels up and they have different stats and so on. So it certainly feels a little Isekai-ish, right, because they have so much focus on levels and skills and so on, to some extent. But yeah, I think it's a really good fantasy anime. But I can see it, I think it's a bit pretty popular, but it's season 4, right? They also had a spin-off season, Sword of Ontaria. So I can see the people probably are a little bit like, maybe fed up, or some people probably won't talk about it, right? I wonder how popular it would be, because yeah, season 4 of a fantasy anime might be a little bit like, but I think it's a great anime. I mean, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. It is, yeah, one of my you know, old school favorites, right? It also probably started like 6-7 years ago, right? The first season by now, so definitely kind of like, you know, getting up there in the years, right? Yeah. But anyway, it's a good anime. Summertime Render, rather watching, which is really good. Okay. I want to spoil here, right? But this is probably one of the best animes this year. Hard not spoil them, talking about things like time looping and so on. I guess I can spoil that because that's the premise at episode 2 or 3 or whatever. So there's like in a time loop, you know, it's similar to RC or whatever, right? It's like, yeah, they get killed, he restarts, and then you have to save everyone. And okay, I'm just a very, very basic spoiler, right? This, the enemies, okay, very basic spoiler, but it's an amazing anime, if you've seen it. The basic premise, right, except the time loop, is that they have the shadow people, they can cope with people's appearance, right? So anyone can be an enemy, of course, anyone can be a shadow, anyone can kill you at any moment, right? Kinda, not really, but you get a point, like anyone can be a traitor. And then you have a time loop, right? So of course the main character, another character gets killed, then he has to restart, and now he knows, okay, that person's a shadow, so I have to avoid her because she will kill me, so on, you know what I mean? So that's kind of the basic premise, right? So it's a very good mystery thriller anime. I really love it. I think it's been one of the best anime this current season, right? And it's gonna keep going then into the summer season, which is good because it's called summer. So it's good that the summer anime is gonna keep going into summertime. But it's a really, really good anime. Seriously, one of the best anime this season. I think that unfortunately it is less popular, right? Because it's called Disney Yale, right? We have the Netflix Yale concept. This anime unfortunately is in Disney Yale, so the same thing there. I'm watching it, you know, raw, right? I watched it on Disney, right? But a lot of people, they can't watch it, right? So they're kind of missing out. If it was airing on Crunchyroll or whatever, this anime would probably be a lot more popular, okay? I think it's one of the best anime in the spring, and it would probably be a lot more popular if it, you know, was airing on. It was airing weekly, right? And it's a huge issue. I say here is a side note, but Netflix, I would hope that Disney could see how Netflix is failing that, right? Because every anime that they air on Netflix, and I guess Disney as well, now, right? They dropped it on Japanese. Like I'm watching it on Japanese, right? They're dropping it the Japanese version weekly, but for some reason they don't sub it weekly, right? And they're missing out on how much the culture and how much people in the anime culture, used like movies or the TV shows for them, right? But especially in the anime culture, I think a lot of people like, to watch it weekly, right? Every episode on Thursday, bam, watch it, right? Talk about it on, Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, whatever, right? TikTok and YouTube, of course, and so on, right? So, by, of course, releasing it like Netflix, right? Like you wait and then you release all the episodes in one day, a lot of people talk about it, yeah. It's gonna miss out so much free PR and so on. So I don't understand how Netflix has kept doing this stupid thing for like years. Disney Plus comes in, right? They sort of buying some animes. They want to compete with Netflix. It makes sense from like a general standpoint. But then they do the same mistake of like, we're not gonna drop the whole episode. We're gonna wait until it's finished, right? And then of course this anime is basically really unknown, right? Because like I am doing reviews and reactions every week, right? But a lot of people aren't, right? Because of the reason, right? They can't get the episode or so on. They don't understand Japanese, right? You know what I mean? So it is really stupid. This Disney jail, Netflix jail, really stupid. But anyway, one of my favorite anime this year. Amazing anime. Let's keep going. Here it comes. Let's give it the blue tag. Oh, mommy. Mommy-chan. Oh, here we go, baby. The best anime. Oh god, the best anime ever on. This is the anime we all wait for. Where's my mommy? Oh, throw out my mommy. Oh, the best girl. Ooh, look at her face. Oh yeah, I'm coming immediately. Yeah, this I think is gonna be it's the cringiest anime ever, right? Rent a Girlfriend, Simp Lord. It is an anime. I said earlier at the start of the stream. In a way, this is the anime I'm most excited for this season, right? And I hope everyone is too, because it is also airing on Friday, right? Yes, 5 days left. This anime is arguably one of the worst animes that's ever been done, right? Like the manga as well. It's one of the most terrible storylines ever. About a guy, right? He can't get laid, so he rents a girlfriend, right, to pretend to be his girlfriend. Of course, is voiced by the goddess herself, of course. Sora voicing, she's a beautiful voice and so on. And she's a perfect girlfriend, right? And then he meets his grandma and so on, has to pretend to be his girlfriend, right? And then he rents other girlfriends or something. And then he has this like super great girlfriend called Mommy that he hates, but she wants him back or something. And then he's so much net around, and he's always like dreaming about, oh, someone is smashing my girlfriend. And then he gets off and you see the memes, right? When he's in the water, and it's like, oh, it is like the worst shit ever. But the thing is that a lot of people, right, they hate the simp, right, men that are willing to, just donate money to like Twitch, tots, or all the stuff, right, and so on, right, yeah. And Kazuya, the main character in this anime, he's like the perfect characterization of the simp, right, like the ultimate simp guy. He's always like lying on the ground, like, take my money, and he's also, one thing that makes anime so terrible, but also good in a way, right, but it's really terribly good, is how incredibly cringe he is. So every goddamn, social interaction, right, that he has with like anyone, especially with people characters, but anyone, even his friends, are so weird. Like no one would ever talk like this, And of course, because it's anime, you're always getting into this, like, oh, let's hide it in the bathroom or whatever. Yeah, constantly this bullshit, right? So I don't know. It's like the worst, best anime ever. It's an anime you love to hate, right? Like, you love to hate it, right? You hate watching it. But it is goddamn entertaining, though. I mean, one thing I would say with this anime, though, in its favor, right, is that some animes, or mangas or whatever, right, especially in this kind of rom-coms genre, they're just terrible, you know what I mean? They're just, like, bad. You watch it, you're like, okay, this is just boring girls, boring main character. This anime truly exemplifies, so bad that it's good, right? Yeah, like, it's so terrible that you enjoy it, right? Like, this anime is so bad. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life, but it's actually enjoyable, because you're like, oh, it's so terrible. Like, I gotta keep watching it, right? As I said earlier, it's truly a fire, right? And then every episode, someone throws in more fire into the fire. You're like, it's burning more now, yeah. You have to keep watching that fire, because it just keeps being a goddamn fire that just grows and grows. You can't stop watching it, right? There are other animes, right, where you just feel indifferent, you know what I mean? You watch, or anime, TV shows, games, whatever, right? You play the game and you're like, oh, this is just kind of there, That's worse, right? I mean, if I was the author, I would rather have people, kind of cringing but hating my show, but at least they keep watching it, right? Than just making something that no one cares about. Yeah, it's better being like this, honestly, when you make something that's so bad people like it, right? That is so cringy that people like it, rather than just making something that is just, like, oh yeah, it exists, right? Indifference is the worst thing. Indifference, I think, is probably truly the worst emotion you can have for an anime watcher, right? but he doesn't care about it. Yeah, I was like, oh, whatever. So anyway, yeah, I love this show, right? I love it. Like I have to watch it. Like it's like it arguably is my number one, right? Also has of course one of the best women ever, though, voice actor, but definitely. So okay, so now we're gonna have a bunch of goddamn isekais, because you know it's anime, so we have like 6-7 isekais. Seriously, it is so many isekais. You know, it's the crying aqua face all over again. It is so many isekais. You know, it's just you know, I have this gift right for this moment, like crying aqua. Yeah, this is how I usually feel, right? This is how I usually feel when we come to this part of looking at all the new animes, right? Because seriously, right? Seriously, how can it always be like 6-7 isekai? I mean, we say it every goddamn time, right? Not me, but every goddamn person talking on YouTube about anime, right? We always say this thing, right? Oh, it's like 11 isekai this season, right? Like you're surprised if it's like 2 isekais, right? It's always like a few isekais. And you are surprised if it's only 2-3 isekais. Like that's like a low number, right, for isekais. Normally you have like a bunch of billion isekais, right? And it just feels, you know, and it just feels weird, right? How many isekais you can have in there. But anyway, so this is the first isekai, and most of them looks like pretty bad too, for that matter. That's why I'm a little bit extra negative here, right? Because sometimes you have bunch of isekais, right? And you have like Mushu Tensei, like, oh my god, I'll get my Ghislaine shirt here. Yeah, look at my, if you haven't seen it again, look at my, you know, Ghislaine shirt, right? Sometimes you have, you know, really, oh, get Ares there. Oh, Merlona, Ares on my biceps, right? Yeah, sometimes you get the good shit, right? You know, sometimes you get the good stuff, right? Yeah, and you get this kind of isekais, right? But usually you get these kind of isekais, which are just, I don't know. It's kind of idea, right? OP main isekai character does something, you know? Yeah, he's incredibly powerful. Every otaku's dream, you know? I'm just like, this sounds terrible. No, but it is. The thing is that it sounds like the most isekai cliche everything ever, right? Oh, he's powerful now. He can use tamer abilities, like slime, whatever. Yeah, it's just like, I've seen this like 10 times before, right? You know what I mean? Like, enough already. How many light novels can you write about a guy getting teleported to another world and basically doing the same thing, right? I write more isekai, right? I've written more isekai for 2 years now. My isekai is way more crazy and different, but of course, okay, I say one thing. My isekai main character, he's not OP at least. That's the first thing. I refuse to write an OP isekai character, Jesus Christ. But anyway, I don't. I guess I have to watch episode 1 at least, right? We have to watch it and first impression of it, but Jesus Christ. Okay, isekai none. But it sounds so basic. Okay, so Made in Abyss, watching the course. So, I'm actually gonna I haven't finished it yet, right? So I'll tell you here immediately. I am watching Made in Abyss right now. Please don't spoil it in the chat. I am watching Made in Abyss right now, right? I'm at episode 6 last Tuesday. And after this stream, I'll go to the gym. But after I come back to the gym, then we're gonna watch episode 7. So yeah, I'm doing 7 on Twitch. So please subscribe, press episode 1, and go up to Twitch as well. On Twitch, right, we're doing a little more, you know, for copy, so we're doing a little more with voice and so on, right? And then we also do a YouTube version later on with a little cutting and so on, right? So full stream, 7, 8, maybe 9, but at least 2 episodes, time for that at least, after this thing here, right? So yeah, I'm currently getting into Made in the Abyss. It's one of those shows that I haven't seen before, right? You know, been requested for a lot of times. And yeah, it is really good so far. I haven't had that, like, terrible stuff yet, people have told me over the years there's a terrible anime. I mean, terrible as in, you know, bloody murder, death, or whatever, right? Hasn't happened yet. Episode 6. So I mean, but it's right now it's like an amazing world building, and I got to this thing where it's like, oh, what's this mystery cube, right? So I am really excited for next stream coming a few hours after this thing. Then was like, okay, what is happening in the cube, right? I think get some mystery resolved maybe, right? But anyway. Of course, I'm excited then to watch next season, right? And this might be one of the more popular animes probably next season, I think. It's not that high in popularity here, it's kind of in the middle. But I think it's probably pretty popular. It's been many years then, right? Like before I had a YouTube channel, when season 1 aired. So like 5 years something. So it's been many years, but I think it's been popular. I think people are gonna like it, you know. I think a lot of people do like me. I think a lot of people are doing just like me actually, right? Like watching season 1 now, you know, yeah, kind of getting into it. been on my my watch list for many years, right? So I finally sat down this week, started watching it. But yeah, I mean, I won't talk too much here because I'm just in it right now, right? And I wanna read, I don't wanna press it, and I haven't looked at the trailer because I won't get spoiled, right? I haven't seen the ending yet, and it's a movie too. I watched a movie course as well before that. Yeah, it's a movie as well. But anyway, more isekais. This actually sounds a little better, but also basically the same thing, right? So Isekai Harem. So this is like another OP main character with super powerful abilities, just like every other Isekai ever. However, it is straight up called Harem, okay? So this is like, it's ecchi, it's Harem, right? So yeah, of course, again, it's an OP main character, and every Isekai almost is a Harem, right? Almost every goddamn Isekai is a Harem. Now let's be honest here, right? But this one is called Harem, right? So this guy, yeah, he's very a strong man, he's good, either good. But look at trailers, and so on. This Isekai sounds better to me, straight up, because it's like a very sexual, ecchi anime. Let's be honest here, yeah, because they're not hiding the fact that this Isekai is very focused on getting laid, right? To some extent, right? Maybe it's gonna be, the thing is that there's so many Isekais with harem animes, and some of them are extremely ecchi, right? For example, Harem Demon Lord. So this anime is probably gonna be less ecchi than that, though. So let's see. But definitely, I'm giving it a chance, right? With the more ecchi sexual Isekai, I mean, this is gonna stick out for some extent, right? But otherwise, yeah, he's an OP Isekai, whatever. This anime, though, this I think is gonna be the best animes. Yufukasi no Uta. This I think is gonna be one of the coolest anime next season. This is why I have it in my thumbnail, right? So this is about, sexy vampires. Yeah, sexy goddamn. This I seriously is gonna be good. Okay, so it's a GUIDEThe vampire. Right? This is a storyline that I checked it out, and it looks like basically the main character, right, is gonna date this very thirsty vampire chicks, and I mean, thirsty in both ways. Right? They're both thirsty for boyfriends and thirsty for blood, right? So it's some kind of like, yeah, romantic rom-com with vampire chicks that wants to drink his blood and his man juice on the same time or something, right? And yeah, all that trailer is like the girls kissing him and then drinking his blood or something, and it's very, very ecchi, or I don't know if it's ecchi, but it's like, very, very, yeah, into it, right? So this to me is like one of the best anime, seriously, yeah. Like some, not the ecchi anime, like absolutely. I think it sounds awesome. So, and also it's like GUIDEThe vampire. I mean, how more do you need, right? But yeah, so it's gonna be some weird dating anime, dating hot vampire chicks, right? So I think it sounds awesome. This is probably gonna be one of my favorite animes. But seriously, it's a little different. It's not stupid isekai. I think it sounds good, right? And here's also an anime that actually is also pretty ecchi. Seriously, definitely watching it. But I don't know if it's gonna be that good or not. But this anime, GUIDEThe in English. Yet another, academy. It's similar to, I guess, a little bit like, Rosario, Vampire, Iruma Kun, a little bit so, right? Guy stuck at a medical academy, surrounded by supernatural magic girls, right? Vampire again, like some demon chicks, succubus, whatever, right? But this anime is very ecchi, okay? This anime is also ecchi, but it's very ecchi. Trailer, huge ladies like touch my oppies and so on. Yeah, so this anime is definitely much, much more ecchi. Yeah, it has been again mediocre storyline, right? We've seen it before, like the fourth anime or whatever. I've seen it. It's kind of basically premise, but yeah, it is very, very ecchi. So this might also be a good anime, at least from that standpoint. That it's more ecchi than usually. But otherwise, it's like, yeah, I need to, be this school with this different, whatever, ice chick, fire chick, vampire chick, yeah, basically, whatever. It's the same storyline again, right? More or less. And here, though, this is, this I have to watch. This is Domestic no Kanyo, season 2 here, okay. This is like, mama, haha. That title is so stupid in English. This kind of stupid anime, So, okay, this anime, it's like my mom is the mother, my stepmom is, what's the title in English now again? My stepmom is the mother of my ex-girlfriend or something. It's something stupid. Basically, right, his girlfriend, or ex-girlfriend, but obviously with his girlfriend again, right? It's his sister. Yeah, it is domestic no Kanyo straight up, you know. Like his father remarries, right? And his father marries a woman that is a mother of his girlfriend, right? Basically, right? You know, like in domestic no Kanyo, episode 1, right? The main character sleeps with, you know, this girl, right? That he just met, right? Because he wants to, you know, lose a V card or whatever, right? Yeah. Sleep with her, and then it turns out that his father remarries, right? You know, and then, oh shit, that woman I slept with is now my stepsister, right? You know, that's kind of the story of Mr. Kanyo. This is straight at the same storyline, you know, like his father, yeah, remarries, his stepmom is the mom of, yeah, his girlfriend, or ex-girlfriend. But you get my point, they're obviously gonna date again, right? They're obviously gonna have this romantic thing going on. So it's this very, very, very Japanese anime, which, you know, oh no, I'm dating my sister. Yeah, it is so anime. It is so goddamn anime. What is it called in English now again? That my stepmom is the mom of my... I'm going to weird as English title. What is it? There it is. My stepmom, my stepmom's daughter is my ex. Yeah, it's obviously gonna be a masterpiece. Right? It's gonna be a masterpiece. But it's straight up is domestic no Kanyo, but less sexual, right? Because the domestic no Kanyo, he sleeps with his, you know, stepsister immediately. Yeah, episode 1, right? And then also he's in love with her older sister, his sensei. Right? Yeah, domestic no Kanyo is awesome. Domestic Kanyo is obviously way better. This is gonna be like a domestic Kanyo light, right? Domestic no Kanyo, you can't forget that his true love interest is his sensei, right? It happens to be the sister of the girl he stays with. It happens to also be his sister, right? So he has 2 stepsisters, and one of them is also his teacher at school, right? So that's way more complicated, yeah. This sounds pretty basic. It's like a domestic no Kanyo, less complicated, yeah, less sexual. And man, this is gonna be pretty meh. But whatever, yeah. See, you obviously get the storyline. He have to live with his girlfriend is suddenly his sister. You get the point, yeah. Like you know what's that. Yeah. This is a show what is it? Isekai again. I'm just so tired of isekais, yeah. So isekai sports show, no, but isekai, you know, it's Kedin wakes up, he has no memory, he's powerful, he's been reincarnated into another world, he has the summoner, he's like the tamer guy. I just don't care anymore, right? I love isekais. It's like my freaking Mushu Tensei shirt, right? But yeah, isekai fatigue, right? It's like, the thing is that some isekais are still fantastic, right? You know what I mean? You watch isekai, it's one of my favorite genres. Who like isekais, right? But the thing is that the issue with isekai now, and I say it every time, right? But it's like, yeah, we got like 6-7 isekais every season, almost, right? So you have so many isekais, and yes, some of them are still good, but you get my point. You have to like watch them all and be like, okay, what is actually good? Because reading the premise and looking at the trailers, it's almost impossible to figure out if they're gonna be good or not, because they all look the same, right? It's so hard to understand if an isekai is good or bad, because yeah, they're all so similar. So I'm just gonna say maybe this is pretty good actually, definitely watching. So really finally confessed to me, you know, a nice rom-com, yeah. So the demo no Yama, it's a nice, you know, this feels like a typical, yeah, they're playing shogi together, they're in love, you know. These are things that are like a pretty good anime. Probably not being that popular, but I'm definitely gonna watch it, you know. I like this is, I want more of these animes, you know, rom-com, just, yeah, 2 cute people, trying to date, you know, making a confess and so on, you know. Yeah, it's like a dating anime, right? You know, rom-com dating anime, yeah. This is nice, you know. This is nice. This is just whatever. This is like whatever, the 55 isekai I've seen this year, you know. This is like, yeah, nice rom-com. That being said, it doesn't look like a super good rom-com. It looks like pretty basic, but still. Another isekai. Yeah, this is crazy. There's so many isekais. And this is like the 3rd or 4th isekai of this thing. Okay, so isekai that's pronounced isekai yakyoku? Yakyoku. I don't know how to pronounce it. Whatever. This isekai, I probably wouldn't even watch, honestly. Because it's yet again this thing, right? Very important to point out here. Farm logist, right? We already seen this thing a lot, right? So yeah, hello, we're coming to farm animes, farm logist animes here now. Yeah, you're coming in here now, we're talking about farm logist. So this is a thing I've seen a lot now, but it's definitely becoming more popular. So there's a lot of isekai about a guy, you know, coming to another world, right? And then he runs like a pharmacy. He runs like some kind of apothecary, right? He runs some kind of store We saw it last year with the guy that had like the wolf girl. I can't remember the name now. It's called like Isekai something too, like Isekai pharmacy or whatever. Yeah, he was like running a little potion store, right? We've seen Banished Hero when he goes and has a potion store. It's Isekai, but it's the same kind of thing, right? He stops being a hero and goes away and runs a potion store instead. We have seen the slime cleaning guy and so on, right? Oh, that is nice. Yamamoto Desu. Yeah. No, I know that. Yeah. Yama for kanji, you know. I can read kanji, and one kanji is very easy to read. It's you start with your name, right? Because the Yama kanji is the mountain kanji, right? So you have the 3 dots. So that's probably one of the easiest kanjis I think to recognize. The kanji for mountain in Japanese, Yama. I would say that is probably the easiest kanji to read. Not easiest, but I think that when I started reading Japanese, when I was like 13, 14, right? When I started studying Japanese, the first things you learn, and I think that's why I think Yama, for example, is to recognize, right? Because the first thing you learn is basically like narrative. You learn the fire, water, like seriously, the first like 10 kanjis that I learned, right, in school, that was like, you know, fire, water, wind, you know, yeah, so like kase, su, you know, ka, and so you kind of learn these kanjis, right? And then of course Yama and like hon, you learn like, you know, tree, moku, and honya and so on. You learn those kind of kanjis, right? You learn the kanjis for that. You learn the kanji for like kane is gold and ukane is money, right? So you learn kind of the kanji for gold and like sun and moon and so on, right? You know, your kuni and ski and so on. You kind of learn those kanjis first. So Yama is one of those kind of the first kanji you see. I would say so, at least when I was in school. Yeah, like Yama is like one of those the first day of kanji school. But anyway, this anime, I don't know, it just feels like one of those we've seen so many times. I feel it's popular in Japan, right? To have a guy just like has a nice life and just runs a store and is just relaxing, whatever, right? You know, it feels very classic by now. This I don't know actually. It's the original anime, Engaged Kiss, is always on Supernatural. I couldn't find much about it. It's a new anime based on Netflix. I'm just gonna skip it because I couldn't find much about it. And this anime actually, I think, is gonna be the best isekai this season, right? Yeah, the Yama. You read it later, yeah. But yeah, the Yama kanji there. That's one of those like top 10 kanjis, you know. I would read on the stream, but basically I can post some of them, you know, like you got the fire kanji. You know, this is kind of how. When you start at school, right, the first thing you learn, I posted in the chat, but when you start school, right, yeah, book, of course, yeah, Honya, or Honya's library, you know, like this is annoying now, because my keyboard isn't, I can't write kanjis that fast in, I can't write kanjis that fast in my keyboard, I'm doing it in that way. But these kind of kanjis, you know, these kind of kanjis, you know, that posted right now. These are the first you learn in school, right? Seriously, yeah, these are the first one you learn, and yeah, so you got the book kanji, and then you also learn, of course, moku. So you learn, you know, tree and so on. Yeah, there it is, the tree kanji. You know, these are the first things you learn, yeah. In school, right? And this kanji, like tree and so on, right? And you can of course see that if you don't speak Japanese, you can see that the tree kanji, moku, there's tree, and you can see how that and the book kanji, as Yamamoto published it, right? They're very similar, right? So that's one thing you have to think about too. If you don't speak Japanese or you can't do Japanese, what I say to people that try to teach Japanese is that Japanese kanji, they do have like some kind of order of similarity, right? So the kanji for book and the kanji for tree are very similar, right? Because yeah, it's like, you know, like this thing here and you put that thing, because obviously you make paper, right, from trees. That's how you make books, right? And the same thing if you can have like bookstore, right? You can have similar kinds of that, right? And like, you know, gold with the house, right? That is money, right? So because you have gold is gold, right? And you know, if you take gold, you can make money, right? So a lot of the kanjis, especially the earlier kanjis, the basic kanjis, are pretty straightforward. You kind of learn the basic of them, and then you can kind of guess that, well, okay, this kanji here, and this kanji are very similar. Okay, that probably means somewhat the same thing, right? Or something very similar. That's what that's what people learn. The start with Japanese, right? You can have that kind of similarity between them. That's, for example, Hanabi, which is fireworks, right? Uses, of course, the combination of fire kanji and the kanji for flower, right? Hana means flower, so you can combine fire and you combine, because in the sky, right, it's a flower, right? So you combine kanji for flower and kanji for fire, and then you have fireworks, right? So you think about that. Stepping into my Japanese tutorial, but I like language, right? I speak a lot of languages. But anyway, Isekai Oji-san, interesting enough though. This I think sounds like, in my opinion, the best Isekai coming, right? Because, yeah, this guy is like, how I say it? This is interesting. It's about the main character and his uncle that has been Isekai, right? So he's gone to a fantasy world, right? He's been in a fantasy world, then he comes back out again, right? So it's kind of like not the reverse Isekai, where you're a demon lord coming to Earth, right? This is a human going to fantasy world and coming back again, right? So I think this almost a new. I have seen it before, but definitely it is a little more refreshing, right? Like, yeah, so he hit by a truck and so on, and now he, comes out with magical powers, right? So I think it sounds like an interesting Isekai series to that, because yeah, he's a character that kind of, I have magical powers in this world now and so on, right? And he got his nephew and he's gonna do stuff and so on, try to make money or whatever. So I think it's interesting. This is definitely Isekai that I look forward to watch. I would say my number one Isekai easily. Here we go, of course. This is an anime I definitely wait for. And this is like, yeah, finally, we got some sexy. Let me go and get this one. I forgot to have it here. Oh, can I reach it? Oh, it's behind my TV. Okay, this and Isekai definitely wait for, right? Yeah, Yamamoto is like, you can see it here, my mountains one. But Isekai Oji, I think is gonna be best, right? I'm gonna show you guys here. Okay, let's go to here, bigger screen. I saw this before, right? But this one definitely waiting for, right? Nagatoro summer Isekai. Like Nagatoro in a swimsuit, best poster I have. It's always like behind me. Gonna have it here, the Nagatoro poster. Because seriously, right? This Isekai, this maid anime, I think I'm gonna love, right? I don't know how popular it's gonna be, but I'm gonna love this show. Saikin Yatoto maid guy Ayashi. So it's basically like, Bonshan, right? No, but Boshan. So you have the anime, right? What's it called? Kuru maid to Boshan, whatever, right? This like very naughty maid, right? And her master, right? And then you have, of course, obviously, Nagatoro, of course. Super sexy babe Nagatoro, right? Tan babe. And this anime, I feel, is a combination of those two animes, right? It's a combination of Boshan, so instead of having with Nagatoro, right? Yeah, so you got like sexy, naughty maid, right? Yeah, so you got this like super attractive, tan, beautiful maid, like if Nagatoro was a maid, and then it's about her young master, right? And they have some kind of, ecchi romance going on, right? So yeah, he got some weird, sexy maid, right? This is a horror course in image, yeah. Got some weird, sexy maid girl, right? So this is probably gonna be at least my personal favorite naughty anime, yeah, like sexy maid girl, and she's obviously looks like a Taro, and she's gonna act like butch, teasing her master, just like in Botchama, yeah. So obviously I like the shows, I love the shows. I have my, for example, right, I have my Usaki mouse pads. I love this stuff, like seriously, one of my favorite genres. Rom-com, ecchi, like what do you call it, like rom-com, basically like, yeah, Irenai did Nagatoro, right? Teasing girl, yeah, teasing girl, right? Something like that, or yeah, teasing maid, teasing girlfriend, teasing teacher, whatever, yeah. I love this stuff, and she really comes off as a combination of Alice is her name, right? In Boshan and Nagatoro, like a mixture of, if Alice was a sexy Kuro girl, yeah. So basically, if Nagatoro was a maid, right? Yeah, and maybe one day when I don't know. I love Hibiki, freaking Gyro Hibiki, but maybe one day I'm gonna finally remove Hibiki and put Nagatoro there instead. Yeah, that's the plan, right? I say, as a side note, I've been saying this for a while, but I kind of want to remove Hibiki right here, even though I love Hibiki, and of course put Nagatoro there instead, right? Yeah, like maybe. But it's hard to throw away Hibiki. She's so cute, you know. I freaking love Hibiki. But anyway, yeah, this anime is probably like seriously gonna be it's personally one of my favorite animes. I think it's gonna be really good. But I love the genre, you know. Teasing, yeah. Irinai the maid. Shadow House, definitely watching. Really good show. So this show is fantastic. It took me for a surprise how good it was. It's one of the best animes, I think, when it aired. Shadow House was really, really good. It's interesting. It's easily Space Pirate lore. I haven't thought about Bastard yet. And I know you mentioned it, right? But I couldn't, you know, yeah, because I wrote to you, right? With the unfortunate issues. But I haven't seen Bastard yet. I don't think Bastard is in this list here. I think Bastard might be in the OVA list or whatever. So, because I haven't seen Bastard at all, I don't think it exists in this list. Yeah, there's no Bastard here in the list. So it might be another page something. So, is Bastard released as like a movie or something? Or like a OVA or something? Because I can't even see it in the list. So I haven't commented that yet. But, in 4 days. Well, yeah, it's like let's try it, yeah. Well, I guess Bastard's out. But anyway, we'll come to that later, I guess, Bastard, probably. But it's a good question, really, because I haven't seen Bastard. But I guess it's released, you know, like I said, right? Yeah, Netflix. But it's probably released as a full show, right? Like a binge show. Whatever. We'll come to it later, I guess, then. Shadow House, we're talking about, it's a really good anime. And I love this show. I really like this show. But I will say the thing here, right? I can't show the show, right? You know what I mean? It's very unfortunate. This is one of those shows, because when it was airing, was last year, right? When the show aired, it was like 40 people, they got a strike for this show, right? Like, unfortunately, right? Yeah. I was reviewing this show, and I really loved it. It's like an amazing show, Shadow House. And a very interesting mystery show, very different shows. I think it's one of the best shows there that year, right? Very interesting show. But it was like, yeah, you know, one of those shows where the company is like scorched earth, and they gave like 40, 50 people, you know, remove the videos, right? So yeah, that's why I will watch the show. I might watch it on Twitch. That's what I did last year, so I watched Twitch instead. So I probably will watch the show on Twitch, but I won't do it on YouTube, right? Because of, yeah, they went crazy with this show last year and removed every video about it, basically. Which to me is crazy, right? Because they remove every PR. If they just remove every video about the show, right? People won't know about it. But yeah, it's a really good show that I put on Twitch. But yeah, Bastard, I guess, is coming out as a binge, right? So probably watch it on the next Friday. And has this already aired? Or didn't it air yesterday or something? Maybe they aired like special thing on it? This is obviously the anime version of RVBI, but I think I haven't seen it, but I saw a lot of people tweet about it. I thought it aired. Did it air already? I'm thinking the date is wrong there. Let me quick check there. I'm thinking the date is wrong, right? Feels really... Let me see here. Didn't a lot of people tweet about this? Because I'm sure that maybe it's just the promos? There's been so many tweets about this anime. Okay, so I never thought this, you know, this show, right? Maybe I missed something. Maybe people are angry at some character with the wrong, I don't know. Are people angry at something? Did one of the girls get the wrong weapon or something? I don't know. I saw so many tweets about the show that I thought it already had aired, but I guess it hasn't, and I don't know. Maybe people are, oh, she should have another weapon. I don't know. Like, I've never seen the original show. I'm just imagining people getting pissed off at something stupid. But yeah, I mean, I know at best. I haven't read it actually. But I guess best, if you're gonna watch it then, I guess next Friday, right? Like it's a binge for Netflix, yeah. It sounds very interesting, absolutely. And these are like in two for that matter. Can I bottom them here now? Hoshino Sumidare, which is like, you know, demon girl. But this guy is like, oh shit, demon girl? That's pretty cool. So he's gonna join her in world domination. Yeah, no, I think it's pretty good. Yeah, like this guy is like, oh shit, the demon lord was to conquer the planet. Oh, I wanna kill every you or something. So he's gonna join her. He's gonna fall in love with her or something, and he wants to help her to conquer the planet. So there's probably gonna be two idiots trying to conquer the planet and failing, right? So that's pretty fun. Like typical, you know, yeah. But Yeah, is it already airing? Because everyone was complaining about it, or I don't know. There's like a lot of tweets about it. I don't know. I really don't follow it, right? Oh, this show I don't know actually. Historical drama show, visual novel. I'm just gonna skip it or say whatever. Oh, he died. Oh, yeah. I never really got into RVB. I know it's very popular in America, right? And I heard a lot of it's one of those shows. RVB is one of those things that I haven't seen, but I know it's like a very controversial stuff for some reason, right? Like you hear a lot of people complaining about it all the time, and I'm just like, oh, okay. Orient, I watched this last year, first episodes. It was terrible. It was terrible. But I heard the manga is much better, right? I heard the manga is much better, but it was just like the animation was terrible, and the pacing was bad. It was one of those shows that I was like, oh my god, this is so low budget, right? I played a lot of complaining about it. Yeah, it's like one of those shows where it didn't live up to the manga at all, right? So whatever then. And now we're getting into kind of the bottom here, right? You know, slice of life shows. If you don't care, Die is still ongoing. I'm gonna go quickly down in the bottom here, but yeah, Die is a great show. Okay, I love Die. I say it every year or every season. I have not reacted to Die, but I love it. Okay, I've been watching it from the beginning, you know, from weekly. I freaking love the show. It just never stops. It's just so long. It's like 120. I don't know how long it's gonna be, but it's just going on for a year now, you know. Oh, did I that early? Yeah, oh, yeah. I mean, I knew RB was, but here I'm not into RB, but man. So the author of the original RB died in the first season. Man, yeah, that is crazy. Oh, so that can definitely a lot of controversy here. I've been avoiding the controversy. Now it's caused a lot of I don't know original music, sci-fi. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just gonna care in the bottom also, guys. I'm gonna care. Kind of the Yashin. This is an anime I dropped. Dropkick. Yeah. Honestly, I could never get into Yashin, right? It's something anime I should like, but I felt it was just most painful. This poor girl just get like bullied by her master and so on. I just felt I never could get into it, right? I watched season 1, half of it, and I dropped it. So I drop kicked at Yashin. I don't know. We're kind of in the bottom now, guys. I'm just gonna quickly go down here. Kingdoms isn't going right. Because now usually we have some weird animes, fantasy shows. It's something I feel. There's an original samurai historical show. Maybe it's good. Also with historical shows, original. Now we're at the kids shows, right? Yeah, Kodomo shows. I mean, some idol shows. I'm quickly go down here now. This really looks like F-Zero. The art style is a lot of that from Leading films. Game. This is like the bottom here now. Teppen. This is interesting. It's like a comedy show about cute girls that do stand-up comedy or something. This is a show about these girls are gonna do like stand-up comedy. So maybe it's fun. I don't know. It's like whatever. I have to say I keep public to this show then. Cute girl done. But yeah, DanMachi I already talked about earlier, of course. We're in the bottom now, man. So we're in the bottom tier now, you know. This show is interesting, okay? I'm skipping over some of these shows, like whatever, Prince of Tennis, season 11 or something. I mean, this is like Prince of Tennis, obviously, right? I've already seen it, but this is like, I don't know, another... Honestly, I'm not really sure. I mean, obviously I've seen kind of the OG Prince of Tennis, right? This is like Prince of Tennis season 25 or something. I haven't seen it in like 10 years or something, right? You know? Shin Tenshin or these, UI, I guess, Boys 17 or something. Honestly, I mean, it's a good show. I like Prince of Tennis, but I haven't seen it in like 10 years, right? It's like one of those, everyone knows about it, right? But anyway, this show reminds me of Zombieland Sega, right? They have no Saki though, so it can't be that good. But basically, Kami Koso Idol, this is like some idol guys trying to make, popular, they're failing, and then like a ghost or something appears. It's like a dead idol girl up here. She wants to be like an idol girl or something. So it reminds me of Zombieland Sega again, right? Because I love Zombieland Sega, but it looks like a pale comparison to Zombie Sega, though. It's like one dead girl instead of a bunch of zombies, right? Yeah. But I do like that we have these crazy fangirls. You see this girl in the back here? These are like some crazy fangirls. It reminds me of If My Eye Goes to Budokan, right? Like some crazy stalker fangirls. It might be interesting. So I'm probably gonna watch this episode 1, right? Because I do like this, like following the otaku girls. So it's pretty fun, I think. But yeah, now we're at some kid shows. It's a lot of music, when it comes to kid shows. Yeah, music, sports, and so on. Music, sports. I couldn't find anything about this thing. This is some kind of Kagyu show, but I couldn't find anything about it. KGF5, so I'm just gonna skip it as well. You know, some weird. This isn't all weird, man. GUIDEThe. No, what is a show? We're at the bottom now in the list here. There's like kid shows, you know, kid show, music shows, and obviously, you know, Shin-chan and so on, right? We're coming to those. Yeah, Doraemon, Shin-chan, so whatever. Let's go up again the list, right? What is more? I don't think there's anything more there. No, let's go up again in the list. it's basically it's a bunch of kid shows, right? So let's summarize, kind of like the bigger shows, right? You see in the chat mentioning too, right? Let's summarize some of the bigger shows, right? So let's go up again. Bam. Okay, so I zoomed out here a bit. You can see the bigger shows here, right? It's kind of the top shows, popular shows. So obviously, DanMachi, that's one of my favorite shows, right? And I've seen every season. And Aisha again is the best girl. Aisha is the best girl, right? That's my girl, you know. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, she got massive oppas. I haven't seen Hatakuro Mosama in years, but it is true. His coworker, she got like these yags, right? And she's like Hestia. Yeah, they both got yags bigger than the screen, man. Yeah. But there's no Aisha though, okay? Hesta is pretty, but there's no Aisha, okay? Aisha is the best girl, easily. Aisha is probably my favorite female character of all the characters here, of all the animes I've seen already. Probably, definitely. I was so disappointed, okay? I'm a spoiler, guys, if you haven't seen DanMachi, right? But I was so disappointed, right? When I watched DanMachi, I say it here, it's a spoiler, whatever, right? People have seen that, yeah. When I watched DanMachi, and Aisha obviously falls in love with Belkun, and she has Belkun, and she doesn't join! Like, I was so disappointed, right? When Aisha doesn't join Hestia's Familia. What F was that, right? What the F was that? When Hestia, this incredible, badass Amazon babe, right? That keeps helping Belkun, doesn't officially join his family. What is that, Arthur? What is wrong with Arthur? I was like, why is Aisha keep being like this main character, right? Why is Aisha just like important, like best friend of the team, right? And she helps out with Ryo and so on. Like, she's a huge part of like the supportive friendship cast, but she never joins officially. She's basically in the Familia, but not actually in the Familia. I'm like, god damn it, man! She's clearly the hottest character in the show. Like, give Hestia an Amazon. Jesus Christ. They defeated the evil Amazon goddess, right? Give them freaking Aisha. It was so, god damn it. Yeah, there's a lot of cool characters. DanMachi has a lot. DanMachi has a very, very good female cast though. DanMachi has, you know, it has everyone. Like, I love Loki, 5 stars. I mean, they have everyone. But I see this thing here, though. If you zoom in here on the image, you do see Aisha here, right? Look at that. Aisha is here, right? She's in the front, in the party, right? You know, we have, you know, Belle. We got, you know, the other, you know, Lily. We got, you know, we got the party, right? You know, we got the members. Right? Aisha is here, right? Aisha is here. Aisha is here. I keep saying it, but she's obviously here in the front, right? It's very, very clearly shown in basically Belkun's party, right? So maybe she can finally join. Maybe she can finally officially join the goddamn family, right? Join the goddamn Familia, right? Hopefully. But she's probably just gonna be like a supportive character. She's probably gonna be in the party, but not actually join them. Like yeah. I'm getting frustrated about it. Aisha probably has a lot of screen time. She got this new outfit out at the image here. She got this new, I show you guys. She got this new outfit. And she's probably gonna, you know, she's clearly there in the image right there. So she probably is gonna have a lot of screen time. And that's great, but it's gonna goddamn tease me how she won't actually join the party, right? But yeah, Sword Art is an anime I actually reacted to, right? I think I'm one of the few people that reacted to Sword Art and reviewed it. Which is cool. It's about the Loki Familia instead, right? And yeah, it definitely kind of doesn't really go anywhere with the Ice storyline. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it, guys, but yeah, it basically follows Ice, you know, the sword basically instead, right? And, you know, shows a bit of her family and so on, but it doesn't really tell you the full detail, right? But yeah, hopefully Aisha joins. Jesus Christ, okay. Oh, that's the, that's that anime. Oppa, definitely Justice Man. Oh, is that? Oh, I zoomed in. Oh, wait, it zoomed in. Oh, whatever. Sorry, I'm zooming in. Boom. Strange. That's really weird. So I zoomed in on this page, and that made the other page zoom in too. Okay, whatever. In internet, right? So yeah, so we have DanMachi, obviously one of my favorite shows, right? Of course, Demon Lord. That's the biggest returning, right? And what more do we have? I have to say this thing. I'll be honest here, right? We also have, of course, Mami, which is awesome. But I have to say this thing. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I love anime, I love manga, so on, right? I do, honestly here, right? I'm a little candid here. This season to me looks somewhat weak. Okay, I must be honest, right? I am gonna watch a bunch of anime still, right? This is mostly an anime, manga, and gaming channel, right? But I do feel that this is gonna be a pretty weak season. What do you guys think, seriously? Right? We have Hatakuru, we have, Demon Lord returns, right? We have Mami coming and so on, right? So, yeah, we're gonna get Aisha Oppa and so on, right? So, I mean, sure, there are some good anime, again, DanMachi, Sama, Rent a Girlfriend, which is bad good, right? Made them busy and so on. I guess my sister is my girlfriend or whatever, yeah. My mom's sister is my daughter girlfriend. We got that, Gairu vampire chick. We got this, Gairu vampire and so on. So there's a couple of animes, and we got Oji-san Isekai at least, that sounds good. But, I don't know, I feel like I can count on my two hands the animes that I am interested in, right? Right? I feel like I can count the kind of on my hand, right? It's not that many animes, right? I do feel like that, honestly. I must say it's a bit a terrible season, but it's like summertime is still ongoing. So I really love summertime, right? So, but it's not like a breakout anime. Maybe I'm wrong here, but like last season, or it was ended, right? We had like Spy's Family, right? Spy's Family was, this amazing anime that kind of popped, this season, right? I'm just gonna say, I don't feel that any new anime here is gonna have, for example, right, that kind of Spy's Family attention, right, from people in general. I'm not talking about me personally, I'm talking about people in general, people, the world, right. Just to feel like any anime here that is new is gonna break the internet, right? Doesn't feel like any new anime here is gonna be it's gonna break the internet. But sure, I mean, I'm excited for like sequels like DanMachi. It's mostly sequels, right? Isn't it? It's mostly sequels. It's DanMachi with Aisha, right? Mami, yeah, it's mostly sequels. It's not that many new animes that I think looks amazing, honestly. There are a couple of ones, of course, like I said, Made is hot, right? Super hot, Nagatoro Made is hot, Vampire She's hot, and so on. So, but again, those ecchi animes very rarely become popular, in the mainstream, right? Because they're very ecchi and very sexy, and so on. But anyways, I mean, I think it's gonna be a decent season, but yeah, there's no anime that I think is gonna really explode. Like I said, last season it was obvious that Spy's Family was gonna be this like massive hit, right? And obviously I love the Executioner. Yeah. I mean, you know how much I love Executioner, right? Like that's that's like my favorite anime. Of all the animes, I still can find it last season. You know how much I love Executioner. Here it is. Like this is straight up like my favorite anime last season, right? It really is. Like I love it. Yeah, Virgin Road. Such a good show, a fantastic show. But I already said that, I gave it a 10 of 10, right? But it was such a good show. And it was so great too, seeing though, that the last 2-3 episodes, they really exploded in the rankings, right? So people, like, I think episode 11 jumped like 10 ranks or whatever. Like, it was like, I don't know, 13 or 12 or something on the top 10 list, right? And then it was something like 2 or 1 or something. Yeah, like it jumped like all the animes, right? People really loved the ending of this anime. And that's something I think is so good with anime too, that it actually ended so strong too, right? Most animes I feel end weak, you know what I mean? Honestly. I feel most animes end weak, This anime ended arguably the strongest ending this year, right? It just got better and better. But yeah, like this is but this is what I mean. I hope I also put it up here because I don't see any anime. I'm just I don't see any anime that's gonna be at this massive hit right next season. That's a new anime, I mean. Old animes perhaps, like Mami or whatever, but new animes maybe not. So I'm hoping for this kind of quality of a dark horse, right? So what do you think is gonna be a dark horse next season? What do you think dark horse, That's kind of what I mean, right? Do you think it's a dark horse? Is there like a dark horse here that we haven't seen yet, right? Because again, sequel, right? Sequel, well, continuation, but sequel. You know what I mean? Sequel, continuation. New Isekai, sequel, Isekai. Dating, yeah. So you know what I mean? I don't see any... Yeah, Asuna and Myrmonden definitely was the biggest thing. But yeah, what do you guys think? Is there a dark horse I'm missing here? Do you think it's a dark horse like Overlord in this season? Because I think that almost all the popular animes are sequels, right? Or continuations, yeah. There's no like new anime is popular that is really popular in the rank. Because people have voted, right? If you go, this is popularity. This is by people's votes. Obviously, One Piece is number one because it's a super old show that everyone loves. So, you know what I mean? So obviously, it's number one. But this is go by popularity, right? This is popularity. People's vote popularity. So you know, sequel, yeah, sequel, yeah. It's like there's almost no new animes people care about. 2 isekais, some weird ecchi 3. All of these are ecchi Roman shows. All of them, yeah. Sexy vampires, sexy demon girls, and sexy sisters. This is like 3 comedy, romance, ecchi shows in a row here. Yeah, this is very ecchi, man. This anime is very ecchi. Like, she's like boob attack and so this anime is very, very ecchi. And then, you know, sport, yeah, rom-com. I don't know. I think this is the best isekai, right? Isekai Oji-san, yeah. This is probably, again, right? I think it's going to be the best isekai next season. But yeah, the trailer is crazy for that anime. She's like, jump into my oppas. That's probably good. But anyway, okay, so that's it. I think it's gonna be the sequel season, right? Probably. Let's go to movies. Okay, so we're gonna get movies. Most movies are based on anime seasons, right? So let's zoom in here. Sword Art Online, you know, most movies are based on seasons, right? You know, animes. So Sword Art Online, whatever. It's a quarter to the movie, right? Which of course would be awesome. I wish they made that this 3rd season though. I love this show, you know. It's like one of my favorite animes of all time, you know. I love this show. They're combining all the, you know, it's like, you know, it's Isekai, it's the Isekai pandemonium, you know. It's so good, man. You throw in, you know, yeah. I think one thing that I keep saying with Isekai though is that it really is carried by Konosuba though. I don't say it because I don't like the other animes, but I think that one thing that makes it really fun is honestly that Aqua and Kazuma are mostly involved with everyone, you know what I mean? I think the anime is... But yeah, sure, Vermeil is a dark horse. The ecchi dark horse, yeah. The dark ecchi horse, yeah. The Eros. But, you know, I just feel like this is a great show. I don't see anything of Seiya though. I love that. That was the best portion too, man. When Seiya, I don't want to join. When Seiya is too cautious. And it starts like, Seiya, I want to go into the party. No, you're dangerous. And he leaves. And he refuses to join them. That was so awesome. Seiya is like, I will not help them. Yeah, crazy people. I don't know. Is that owned by the same company though? I don't know who remembers that, pictures that show though. But they probably are gonna throw in some more isekais in the movie. Yeah, I definitely imagine Seiya and the starter coming in again as a cameo. They're probably gonna have even more. I mean, obviously it's a movie about isekais, right? And they own so many isekais, so they're clearly gonna throw in more isekais in the movie. Even if you aren't here, right? They're obviously gonna be some, you know, appearances of other shows too, because it's PR, right? They're gonna throw in probably 3-4 other isekais as well, right? At least for a few minutes, you know, in the final battle or whatever, certainly. Like the final battle, it'd be some kind of giant spider robot Megamid, right? And then they're probably gonna throw in like 4 or 5 new isekai characters. It's soon airing though. I'm definitely gonna watch the course. Absolutely. So it's gonna be kind of fun to go to theater though to watch Isekai Quartet. Slime won't happen though. That's like the rival company. Slime, as people been saying for years though, but it won't happen. Slime is like their biggest competitor, you know. Slime is made by their biggest sales competitor, right? So they were never gonna have Slime. You have to think about Isekai Quartet as a PR thing, right? And Slime is basically the one of the isekai that outsells them, or at least takes some of the profit, right? So they're never ever gonna have Slime because they probably hate Slime, right? Because it's one of the few they don't own Slime, right? You know. But anyway, like whatever. But yeah, obviously I'm gonna watch this show like when the movie comes. I mean, this is something that I feel whatever. I made a video about this thing, right? Obviously I talk about One Piece a lot. I know One Piece. This is one of those things. I'll say it here again, right? Just to be honest, right? I think this movie is gonna be, I don't know, disappointing. I don't know. It feels like it's gonna be a pretty good movie, but the thing is that, you know, when you hear about this movie, right? You hear about One Piece Red, right? And it's all about Shanks, you know, old good Shanks, right? The guy from chapter 1, right? You know, when you finally see Shanks, you're imagining that the movie is gonna be about Shanks, right? But then the next trailer came out a month ago, where I really reacted to it. And then Shanks' daughter appeared, and you're like, oh no, a princess in. You know? So, unfortunately, right? I think this movie is really trying to sell it. It's gonna be about Shanks, you know what I mean? At least in the beginning. But now it seems to be about his daughter, right? Uta, which means singing. So in Japanese, Uta is like to sing, right? And she's like a singer. And my guess, for that matter, I said I had the video about it, but I think her power is siren, right? That makes a lot of sense to me. She's eaten the siren fruit because a siren can sing, right? And she has wings, right? But she's a human with wings, so her wings are probably a siren wings, right? Because if you're a mythology siren, you can grow wings because sirens can fly, right? At least in a lot of mythology. So sirens are also kind of mermaid with wings, right? You know. So she eats the siren fruit, right? That's how she can be turned into wings. So when we see her wings, it's actually her hybrid form, right? And of course, because she's a siren, she gets magical singing voice, right? Because sirens can, of course, you know, attract people with the singing, right? So I think it makes a ton of sense, right? If she's a siren, right? You know, it makes all the sense in the world. So I feel very confident in her having eaten the siren fruit because it just makes a ton of sense. But anyway, it's gonna be about that, right? So I want to see a movie about Shanks. It's gonna be about Uta the siren instead. So I don't know. It's gonna be. Might still be a good movie, but I think everyone wanted a movie about Shanks, right? Everyone wanted a Shank movie. No one wanted the Shank's daughter movie. So it's a little bit like, well, that's not what we wanted. No one wants that. And then Eurocamp, of course, a great show. Yeah, in a movie. Oh, a movie from this show? Yeah, it's on our teasing animes. Yeah, new Dragon Ball. So, where's Bastard, right? Maybe it's the next thing. It's a new movie. I don't know about. Natsumitane. Maybe it's good. Eureka. I love Eureka. It's a great show. But yeah, so they've done all this, you know, Eureka 7 movies, right? Kind of rewriting history with those movies and so on, which is kind of confusing. But yeah, I love this show. Amazing anime, right? I watched it when it aired in 7, so shit, yeah. And now they're doing all these, you know, movies that are like rewriting it. She has a kid, you know, in the spin-off and so on. And she has all 3 kids too, but yeah, kid with, of course, the main character. And Suruna, I watched that anime. Pretty decent anime. It's an anime about Kyoto, like sports, you know, bowing, archery. There's these like big Japanese bows. This I have no idea. Huh. Okay. University Glider Club. Maybe it's a good movie. Oh, it's a manga. Oh. Aria, of course, classic old show. Huh. Well, I guess Shanks is the big movie coming, right? Definitely. Whatever. Now we have some random Gundam movies and yeah, whatever. Okay, so let's see if we can find Bastard talked about earlier. If we can find Bastard in the next tab, right? Yeah, I guess it's OVA, right? So now with OVAs, here I would guess that Bastard would be then, if it's like not a final. Tonikaku is this cute little romance. It's getting OVA. So Tonikaku is the one, you know, married at, you know, married day 1, right? Dharma and Greg, right? It's a cute romance show where they, you know, he marries his fly me to the moon. He marries his, you know, moon princess, you know, day 1, right? It's a cute show, and it's getting an OVA, or I guess like a continuation, I guess. OVA series. An OVA on Yusha, been airing last season, but the guy that stops being a hero and so he joins the demon army and is basically a hero helping the demons instead. Getting a little OVA there, special OVA. Something now. Oh, Kagura is getting something OVA? What's this thing? Oh, it's before it's before Yumiko arrives? This I have to see, man. This I have to see. There we get my list there. Yeah. Kakiguri is getting some kind of like, I guess, spin-off, like before Yumiko ruins everything. Yeah. So it's about Mary before she gets, violated by before she meets the crazy gambler girl that ruins her life, basically, yeah, and changes everything. Okay, it can be interesting. It's probably like a one episode or something. Yeah, it can spin it's probably decent. Yeah, the guy sounds getting that. I guess like was it the fourth thing, right? So Spriggan has already aired, right? Talk about it already, yeah. I think it's already aired. Right? Didn't air. Yeah, aired last week. So that's actually last season. But here we go, yeah. Finally Bastard, man. We finally get the Bastard, yeah. So it's here, yeah. It's here in the OVAs, right? It's called an OVA. Definitely gonna watch this thing, right? And this is good though. In this sense, the Bastard is gonna be good. You know why? Because OVAs are etchier, yeah. So this is great, right? If you wanna watch Bastard and you wanna get, the boobylicious stuff, right? Big oppies and sexy babes and so on, right? It is much better that it is much better, right? Than an OVA actually. So it's coming, yeah, 4 days from now. Was that Thursday, Wednesday? Excuse, Sunday today. I guess it'd be like Thursday, right? Yeah, Eureka 7 is great as well, but yeah. So, but seriously, right? It's great that it's an OVA, right? Because then you are gonna get more of this, right? You're gonna get more of this stuff, It's gonna be more, off by summer shake, This is damn perfect for summer season. I'm sorry, Hibiki. I probably have to put Nagatoro. Look at it. It's perfect, right? You see the summer here. You see summer here. No, you see the summer here. The sand. Look at it. Perfect for a summer season. Look at this sand. Little sandy rocks there. Little here over here is the beach. Yeah. It's perfect for the summer, man. I probably have to put Nagatoro behind me, right? Yeah. She gotta be on the wall right now, right? Gotta be on the wall then for summer, right? It's perfect for summer. But yeah, like it's good because if you want to get that stuff, right, if you want to get the oppies and the boobs and so on, the Bastard is an OVA, and it's counted as an OVA, is better because OVAs have other laws, right? So it's about regulation in Japan, right? So if you show us stuff on TV, right, it has to be a little less, and they might have censored versions and so on, right? But when it makes OVAs, they can be a little bigger, right? Be a little more revealing and so on. So yeah, the Bastard, of course, is old school manga, right? It probably fits a lot more being an OVA because traditionally then the Japanese companies, it doesn't matter if the answer is an OVA. Just doing an OVA usually means they're doing it more bloody, more sexy. All that stuff is gonna be maximized in an OVA. So it's probably really good that this show is an OVA, right? So yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch this show. Classic old, style, Berserk similar style, right? Dark fantasy, right? So we call it, right? Dark fantasy genre, I would say, right? Dark fantasy, right? So it's gonna be a lot of ecchi, seinen, so a lot of sex, a lot of blood, yeah. So I think it's perfect that it makes sense to me that it's an OVA, yeah. Like the counted as OVA, right? Which means that it's gonna be less censored, it's gonna be more brutal, they're not gonna shy away from some scenes, right? So it's probably going to be one of the best animes, right? It's going to probably be really good. But I do wish they wouldn't... I'm not a big fan, of course, of the whole Netflix. We're going to drop 10 episodes per day, right? Let's see if it says here. If it says anything here. You can see it here, right? It's obviously a Netflix show, but... Yeah, I mean, it's even called Dark Fantasy, yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, it's Netflix, right? But whatever. I mean, yeah, they're gonna produce. Was it 12 episode immediately? 6 episode. But yeah. So that's a little unfortunate. I mean, I don't like binging. I don't like binging. Right. I think most anime fans, like me, right? I've been watching anime 20 years. I like watching it weekly. I don't like the Netflix stuff when it's like, oh, here's the whole season. No, I like watching. An episode per week. Yeah, I like watching that. I like having discussion, right? I like going to, Twitter or whatever, right? Discussing the anime per week, right? So I don't understand. I don't know. I don't think Netflix and Disney and so on are helping out with this whole, Netflix Yale or, yeah, doing this weird stuff where they put it, like, here's the whole season in one day and so on, right? I also think it makes the anime less popular. You know what I mean? Like I said earlier, I think the anime gets less PR then too, right? Because instead of having, let's say, all the YouTubers, right, doing like a weekly review, right, or whatever, you get point. Instead we get all the YouTubers doing like one review, right, or it depends. Some people do, you know, per episode anyway, right, but a lot of people just do like, okay, here's my season review or whatever, right. I think it hurts the anime, you know, I think it hurts the show to do this thing. And I think it's weird too, because, again, right, animes are mostly aired, you know, on a weekly, people follow it, very trendy and so on, yeah. If it's, I don't know, so I think it's gonna hurt the show, right. It's gonna make the show better, probably. Like, the quality-wise, it's probably gonna be better, like I said, because it's OVA, less censorship and so on. Right? So from a quality standpoint, it's probably better that it is an OVA and it's dropped all at the same time, right? It's probably better, right? But from a PR standpoint, I think it's gonna be hurt the show. But yeah, of course, Bunny Girl is the best thing ever, man. Look at my senpai. My senpai. I probably, I don't know, Aqua, you know, now I love Aqua, right? But, you know, I love Aqua and Sora, but I probably would remove, maybe, I don't know, yeah, if I ever change my wall behind me, my waifu wall, I probably would remove, maybe, my visitor is the perfect girlfriend, yeah, how to remove Bunny senpai. But anyway, I think it's gonna hurt, I think it's gonna be hurt by, you know, it's gonna be Netflix daily or whatever. It's gonna hurt the show, I think, popularity-wise, definitely. It's gonna do that, absolutely. Pretty sure on that. Another OVA. Oh yeah, this OVA sounds great, man. I watch the way it comes soon. My god, I love this stuff in every anime. So I love this stuff. So it's like an OVA when they play baseball. It's gonna be awesome. I love this shit. You know, I always love this in X-Men and so on too. When it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna play baseball with superpowers. Come on, I love this stuff when they play sport. You know, One Piece, the baseball, and soccer, and so on. Yeah, I love that when they. No, but I think that, can Bastard be done in Japanese TV? It could be, but it would be censored, of course. It could be, so I think they could have. And they can have different versions, you know, and so on. Uncensored versions, so on, yeah. I think it could have been, but it's a little more complicated. But anyway, I love this stuff, you know, I love this. It's just basically, you know, they're gonna play baseball. I love this stuff, immediately. This is like one of my favorite things, you know, this kind of OVA spin-offs. Oh, we're gonna play a baseball episode, right? Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. 2 episodes and playing baseball. It's gonna be freaking badass, man. yeah. We got ninja baseball and so on. Yeah, I love the shit. What's the best one? Oh, someone calling me? What's the best one when whatever, but yeah, I'll get into that, but there's so many. What is this thing? Shouldn't I as Yaoi? Okay, it's cute boys. Cute boys, everyone. Man, this is great for an image. This is very Chinese. Yeah. Shanghai Phil. What is this? Like, it is very immediately. This to me is Chinese, not Japanese. The art style is very Chinese, and it's done by Shanghai Fox Film Culture Festival. What is this? What is this? What a weird. Born into a unique world, Shi Hao is a genius blessed by the heavens. I immediately knew it was Chinese. It's just that the art style is so Chinese. But we gotta shit it out, guys. We gotta shit it out, okay? We gotta shit it out. What is this thing? What is this thing? What is one machine? No, this is the explanation. What is this thing? What is this thing? Oh yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, that's so awesome when they played baseball and Yamcha catches the baseball in his death scene. Yeah, and Yamcha gets into he dies by playing baseball. Yeah, the same thing again. It's so good. And Vegeta is like, oh, I recognize this thing. Oh yeah, I mean, then dinner and so on. Yeah, but the stream is going off soon anyway here, guys. I'm just going to the last bit. I don't know how this thing is. It's a kind of Chinese show or something. Maybe it's good. I don't know. I'm trying to get more information about it because I can't find it. Whatever. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you, Yamamoto. And I don't know, guys. We have anything more here? I'm doing the last bit there. No, bastard is a big thing, right? But anyway, yeah, again, the stream now anyway. So see you guys and do a quick recap, right? What do you guys think? Summer season? I feel it's weak. Honestly, right? I don't think it's terrible. I have seen worse seasons, but I think it has. I think one problem with summer season here is that it has so many sequels, right? Like all the popular shows. I mentioned earlier. I said it again. All the popular shows are basically sequels. That's gonna hurt the season, I feel. From a general anime standpoint, right? Because a lot of people are gonna like watch the new animes, right? Not too many sequels. And the sequels looks decent, and then a lot of new animes looks pretty bad. So I think maybe less anime viewers, right? You know, in general, you know what I mean? Best to definitely check it out, and so on, right? I think that, I mean, I wanna say DanMachi is gonna be the big hit on it, but I don't know. DanMachi is like, you know, season 4, right? No, but that's how it should be, man. That's how every anime is. I'm gonna, yeah. That's how every anime is, though, you know. But that's not really okay. So first sign of what you wrote there, Space Pirate Lord. The thing is that that's not really why it's a big issue, though. Maybe it is, but the thing is that in China, right, they basically have to approve everything, so it doesn't have to necessarily be. It doesn't have to necessarily be like a propaganda piece for them. It is more so that everything that is produced in China, right, almost has to be approved. And that doesn't mean that they have to be like, oh, this has to be really like, you know, promoting our culture. It can just be like, oh, you have to prove, have to prove it, right? So it depends. You know, they made a Karl Marx anime. That one is straight up like, we're gonna promote, you know, our cultural ideas, right? But they also make other Chinese animes, and they are not necessarily like promoting anything with them, right? It's just like, to be able to produce stuff in China, you have to better get the stamp approval, right, of the government, which is kind of weird in a sense. But China has some other interesting laws too, which I think is interesting. Like, for example, if you write like a fictional novel in China, you cannot remove China from the storyline. You know what I mean? So if you write like a fictional World War III, China has to be a power and so on. Yeah, China has to be like the winner, basically. You know, so on. That's interesting. You can't like write without. Oh, there has to be part of it and win and so on. You know, I can't. That's interesting. Man, you don't know half about it, man. You don't know half about it. I'm from a country that everyone just accepts propaganda, which is awesome. Yeah, I'm from a country where everyone is like, "Wow, the state is awesome." Seriously, I don't think this is a country more in the world than my home country, where people love the state so much. You know, like they really love their own government. Yeah, that they have this enormously love for the government in Sweden. It's crazy. Norway too, for that, in Denmark. They have this incredible love, right, for their own government. It's the one from older channel more so, but it's really interesting how, like seriously, because Swedish television, SVT, is one of the most like propaganda machines ever. But people is like, oh, it's great. People are like, oh, that's awesome. The people just accept it. I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm just saying that the people doesn't care. People are like, oh, this is great, man. This thing is awesome. Yeah, they just accept it. It's very, very strange. It has changed now the last maybe 10 or so years massively. The turn has been massive. Of course, for obvious reasons why in Sweden. But yeah, it's been a massive, massive turn, right, in their cultural popularity and so on. But before that, for the last like 50 years, man, it's so weird. But that's another video. But I find it fascinating, you know, cultures, right? It's fascinating. So, but it's true though. The Chinese animes are to some extent very like they usually have some kind of alternative motives. To some extent, but not really. Sometimes. But I think it's more so that, like I said, right, that in China it's like, oh, I wanna make this movie, and it's like, okay, you need to get like a approval, right, from the government. More so that no matter what the movie is, right? Like I wanna make a sci-fi movie in space, okay, but you need to get a stamp approval. You know what I mean? It's more like that, more so actually. I mean, I wasn't thinking defending them too much, but it's like a mixture, right? Sometimes it is definitely there's some ideas, but some other animes they make in China are just like, I just wanna make a movie, right? But you still need the approval, right? So it's like a weird thing with you always need to. Yeah, the anti. Yeah, it is. It is weird, man. It is weird. Oh my god, it's so weird. I always keep thinking about Mortal Kombat, guys. End the streamer, but I also keep thinking Mortal Kombat. You know, when Mortal Kombat was released, was it MK10, MK11, right? And they had what's her name, Scarlet, right? Scarlet used to fight in a bikini. She used to fight in like a red bikini, and then she basically was wearing like a tent instead. Her name's Scarlet. I'll show you guys for the last, yeah, Scarlet with a K, right? You know, Scarlet with a K. Yeah, that's her name, of course. Which is Mortal Kombat. Everyone needs to have a K name. Scarlet. Yeah, they need to have like a freaking, you know, they need to have a K in their name, right? Yeah, of course, too. Yeah. Now, I'll turn off the stream now, guys. Please subscribe, slap it and so on, right? And in the next stream, also be on Twitch, we're gonna watch what's it called Made in Abyss, episode 7, and then episode 7 of Made in Abyss, and after that, I post on YouTube as well, someone. But on Twitch, we do a little more, you know, copyright friendly to speak. So it's a better, I think, version if you want a full version there. But yeah, let me just show you this thing for fun, right? I think it's so fun. MK9 maybe? Let's call it. It's so absurd. This is a great image, man. I'm just laughing at this. This is so great, man. This is what I really felt that. This is where I felt, you know, that that the popular culture and so on was changing a lot in America. If you have seen this thing before, guys, I'll show you guys. This is where I felt America stopped liking waifus. Yeah, like with MQ, Mortal Kombat hating the waifu. Do this. This is here. This. Oh my god, I'm gonna zoom that. Opposite to googling it. So yeah, so this is I think the best example of seriously, right? Mortal Kombat when they started hating oppies. This is why we need anime, right? No, but serious. I mean serious, right? This was so weird, right? So they have this character called Scarlet, and she used to basically be running around in like, you know, like a red bikini, right? Yeah, a red bikini. You know, obviously because it's Mortal Kombat, right? Yeah, she had like a red bikini on her. She was like super sexy and so on, right? And then they gave her like a full bodysuit, like straight up. Yeah, it was just crazy. You can see it here. This is how she looked, you know. Like she was super sexy, right? Great abs, great body, looked powerful. And I like it, you know, she's got great abs, right? You know, muscular, you know, big oppies but muscular, and yeah, she looked sexy, right? But still powerful. Like she had a great muscular body, and yeah, she wasn't even like a me character. Look at the image here. She had, you know, she's got a lot of muscles, right? So I think it's a good design too, because, you know, yeah, she's a muscular fighter, right? She didn't even look like, you know, she wasn't like a sex piece. She actually looked pretty muscular too, right? Honestly, right? Yeah, she looked pretty muscular. And then they gave her this new outfit. This here, yeah, it's the official outfit. And they gave her this outfit, right? They gave her this outfit. I think that was probably, honestly, the end of my stream here. But I think generally this was when the America really fell for that, you know. We can't do oppas anymore. Seriously, right? Because, yeah, Mortal Kombat went from this character, right? Look at her. Big oppas, big muscle. You see your legs, but still not, you know, still fully, you know, a bikini kind of warrior, right? And then she went into this character. Like, seriously, that she became this character. Like a freaking full... You can't even see any skin here, basically, right? I mean, and I'm not saying this... I'm not saying that, oh, every game has to show boobs and ass or whatever, right? But it is just an absurd difference, right? I'm not saying that she has to run around half, you know, showing in a bikini, right? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the difference here is like night and day, right? She went from like a very... you know, a revealing bikini to like something that's like a tent, right? Yeah, she went to. It is very weird. Yeah, the younger fans are like brainwashed. Yeah, but it's very weird. Yeah, but I agree with it. It's very weird because, and the annoying thing so much, right? And I made a video about this years ago, right? But I say it briefly again because I'm on rant mode now. But it's the weird thing with this thing, and I really hate this about Kombat, right? Is just how, Frank Frazetta, of course. His art, man, yeah. But anyways, when I put out before I started streaming, right, I find it it's so annoying, right? And this is why Japan feels better, right? Because like if you watch, for example, Redo Healer last year, right? Was it last year? 2 years ago? Kaifuku, you know, Redo Healer or similar that, Redo Healer, Assassin, you know, same art and so on, right? Those anime has, you know, murder and so on, right? And they also have sex in them, you know what I mean? Yeah, they have like bloody stuff and so on, right? And they also have ecchi stuff, right? So in Japan, it's like if you make a mature anime, right, or a game, but if you make an anime that's seinen, right? Seinen means it's gonna have death in it, right? It's gonna have death scenes, right? But it also is probably gonna have maybe a sex scene, right? You know what I mean? Like if they make an anime that is, you know, mature audience, right? They go for it, right? You know what I mean? That's anime. That's Japan, right? Gaming and so on, manga, whatever. Yeah, they go for it, right? They do both, right? But in America, it has really become, and I said this many, many times, but in America, it has really become like, we can have any kind of ultra-violence, right, you know? It's very, very American. We can have ultra-violence, we can show Mortal Kombat, of course, incredibly brutal, right? But we can't have the girls in a bikini. The girl has to be fully dressed, right? That's why it's so crazy, right? So Radio Healer, again, great example, right, of that. Radio Healer is incredibly brutal, right, you know? Both from like a death scene and from a sex stuff, right? Yeah, it's very, very brutal, right? So Radio Healer has arguably the same, you know, brutality as Mortal Kombat, right? From a brutal standpoint, you know, with the fighting and battle and so on. With the uses, right, the better uses. But of course, it also has all the etchy stuff, right? And Mortal Kombat is like, we only have the blood stuff, yeah. So, yeah, it's with the viewers, yeah. But it's with the viewers, it's only about the etchy, right, yeah. But I think it's the example of the healer, because it is kind of like what Mortal Kombat used to be, right? It's both etchy and it's brutal, right? But Mortal Kombat has turned into the perfect example, I feel, of American culture, which is like, oh, it's fine, you know, taking a character and, you know, bloop, take their head and be like, you know, and explodes or whatever. Yeah, it's fine to have this, like, insane violence in, right? Which I arguably think is too much, right? You know, it's like insane violence, right? That's fine, but if the character has a bikini on her, then we have to ban the game, right? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, exactly. America's half of Urodotsuki, yeah, it's half of it. It's only the action stuff, and it's nothing of the other stuff. Yeah, it's just making sense. That's why I think anime, also for the Americans, you see how manga and so on, right, is outselling, right, you know, Chainsaw Man, you know, Macadamia and so on, is outselling, you know, Spider-Man and stuff, and Batman and so on. I think that is about too, right? Yeah, because Japan, they just keep doing what they're doing, right? And America is like, oh, we can only do one thing, we can't do both things. Yeah, it's so weird, man. Europe is kind of like, kind of the reverse, I think. Honestly, I think Japan also is more etchy than, you know, blood, right? But Europe is also like, you know, especially I read a lot of, you know, Belgian comics and come from France, right? They're also way more etchy, yeah, because, you know, the French people, the Franken, yeah, they're way more, you know, sexual. Yeah, definitely are. I read a lot of Belgian comics because my family is, you know, part Belgian, right? And so I've been in Brussels and so on, a little bit. And I read many Belgian comics. They're pretty big in Europe generally, but I read them. You know, I read them. Torgal favorite them. Torgal's my favorite European comic. Amazing Belgian comic. But Torgal is like kind of like European Berserk. You know, it's about a Viking guy, so it's very, very similar to Berserk, right? And in Torgal, there's a lot of sex, man. Torgal is like, bam. Torgal is like, I'm gonna smash this dragon or something. Torgal has a scene where he is basically has to like sleep with like a goddess. He's like, oh, and if you want the key, you have to, you know, pleasure me. It's like, okay, like that's kind of like Torgal. It's like, okay, whatever, you know, yeah. Torgal is like this weird comic. It's very, very brutal, okay? Like almost every character in Torgal dies, okay? Spoiler, but a lot of them dies, okay? It is very, very brutal. He kills so many people. His friends die. It's a horrible storyline. Like, it's very brutal. But at the same time, Torgal is like, oh, this woman is like, oh, do you want the gold money, boy? He's like, yes. It's like, okay, gonna smash this old, you know, 1,000-year-old weird half dragon woman. Whatever, I need the money, you know. That's kind of Torgal. And he also gets, yeah, he gets armed and so on. It's crazy, okay. I recommend it heavily. But anyway, European comics, yeah, they are a lot more like in that way, right? They aren't as brutal like American comics. Instead, they are much more relentless, right? Because, you know, they're mostly written by, again, people in Belgium or in France, right? And they're, yeah, way more sexual, right? You know, Spirou and so on. Like young Spirou, so yeah. So, and of course, from both the comics countries have a lot of, you know, sex jokes. So much, like Spirou and so on. So much sex jokes, right? So much, almost. I have to say too much, I think, because some of them are pretty bad, I think. But yeah, there's so much of them, right? So they're kind of the opposite of America, right? They don't, in Europe, they don't like so much blood and so on, or, you know, brutalities, but they love the sex stuff. It's like, yeah, but I don't know what Android tastes. I don't know, but yeah, French comics are crazy. Like, they're crazy. But they mostly is Belgium. They're really heavily produced. Most of it's Belgium, right? And it's like I said, I lived in Brussels for a bit, and my family lives there, so on, right, a lot. And in Brussels, you go around and they have all these murals, right? You go around in Brussels and they have all these murals of, you know, Spirou and so on, right, and Tintin and so on. it's a lot of these cartoon murals in Brussels. So in Brussels it's incredibly popular with comics, right? It's incredibly popular, you know. So if you're in Brussels, this I don't know where it's next to the. This, for example, is very close to where my family lives. This mural, it's like a mural in, you know, Brussels with the Tintin and so on. But yeah, but let's have this image, right? So yeah, very popular, and also explains, you know, why anime and manga and so on, yeah, hand stuff is very popular in, you know, France and in Belgium. Very, very popular, you know. Very accepted in that culture. So my family members that lives in Belgium, right? I won't talk too much to my family, but their point, yeah, their younglings, so to speak, are very into manga and so on, yeah, and anime, yeah, incredibly popular. Like all their friends watch manga and anime and so on. Right? It's huge there. It's very, very big. Wait, oh, here's Torgal. Oh, it's my favorite show. Okay, I show this guy and the stream guys. I go to the gym guys. That's he made an abyss. But it's my final image here. Oh, this is Torgal. This is my favorite Belgian comic. Torgal. Yeah, Torgal. His wife there. He has children and everything. Yeah, Torgal is great, man. Spoilers, but whatever. Yeah, Torgal is amazing. Like he gets a waifu. They smash. He gets several kids. Then the kids get killed and so on. No, but seriously, his comic is so brutal. Like his wife gets hard and so on. Yeah, like his wife gets hard. Yeah, his enemy kills his wife and Arthur. And his wife becomes a sex slave and so on. Yeah, like this comic is crazy. It's the best. I should make a video about Torgal one day. I talked about it earlier. I talk about it all the time. Okay, I talk about Torgal all the time. It is so good. The La Barbarian. I read it in French as well. I talk about this, I feel, all the time. How much I love this show. Here it is, the first comic. I feel talking about this show all the time. But seriously, people, if you like Berserk and so on, you should read this Torgal. It's the greatest like Belgian comic ever. It is so brutal. It's like Berserk brutality almost. Berserk was more graphic and brutal, but yeah, it has art stuff. It has murders, death, betrayal, weird, you know, complicated, and it's been going for like the 70s. Okay. This storyline, it's much older than Berserk, okay? It started like 72, I think. It's much older. 77, yeah, it's like 10 years older than Berserk, okay? So don't get me wrong, man. This show is super old. It started in 77, okay? 77. It's been going for like, you know, for decades, right? It is actually much older than Berserk and so on. And yeah, it's heavily focused on Viking mythology, you know. Obviously his name is Thor, as in Thor, right? And he's a Viking and so on. And it's still ongoing. It's still ongoing. This guy been doing it since 77. Okay, so you understand how this is iconic. And when you are in Belgium, in Brussels, and so on, you can find a lot of toy comics and figures and everything. And it looks. This is like really weird, interesting art too. This beautiful like landscape art all the time. Okay, I want to get a copy, but I'm showing you like a smaller version of it. There's a panel here. This is a smaller panel, right? There's all these like weird art pieces, right? Where they kind of show you this, right? Like this very interesting art, a lot of mountains, so on. Yeah, Viking villages. I make a video about Torgal. I have to make a video about Torgal. I feel how many times have I mentioned Torgal in this channel? Like seriously, this is the best European comic ever, Torgal. This is it, okay? If you like Berserk or Bastard or so on, right? You're gonna love this stuff, right? It's dark fantasy. It's amazing. It is truly like seriously. It's hardcore dark fantasy, right? It has, you know, everything, dragons, you know, goddesses, all of it, waifus, right? A lot of sex in it, deaths. Like almost everyone dies. Like it has RCs, it has everything. It is incredibly complicated storyline, and it's been going on for like, yeah, all like 50 years, man. And it's so complicated, right? And there's so much betrayal and stuff too, man. Yeah, no, it's very different than anime. I think one thing that I grew up with though, this is my last thing, I guess. My last thing. Talk about America. I want to say one thing though, so I want to shit on America, okay? Look at my Spider-Man here, man. Look at my Spider-Man, okay? I don't want to shit only on America, okay? Let's look at my Spider-Man. I have a lot of Spider-Man stuff actually, right? Captain America stuff and so on. I do love Marvel though, and DC, right? I actually just watched the Batman movie yesterday, actually. New Batman movie, which wasn't very good actually. But yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it, but it wasn't like the new Batman movie is like 3 hours long, guys. 3 hours, and I was like, man, it's never. It wasn't worth 3 hours. Okay, it wasn't bad, but it probably should be like 2 hours. But yeah, you should definitely read Toga. I'm gonna make a Toga video when I have time. I'm definitely gonna have to make a Toga video now. The best EP ever. But anyway, before I turn off, right, because I don't want to shit on America. I do love Spider-Man, right? I do love Spider-Man. Look, Captain America is my favorite Avenger and so on. You know, and I love a lot of stuff from America, right? And I think I will say this in here, though. As a kid, right, when I grew up, you know, on Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and stuff and so on too, right? Etc. This is stuff and so on, and other stuff too. But the thing that I really immediately liked, you know, with like Spider-Man and so on, because I grew up mostly with, of course, Spider-Man TAS, right? Spider-Man, the animated show, and of course Batman and so on. And so the Spider-Man TAS, it felt like a really good show, right? Because they actually had all these storylines, right? It was like 5 seasons, and every episode was like, okay, here it happens, right? Now this is the next story. Oh, Mary Jane is dead or whatever. They actually had like, you know, an actual relationships, and it had all these storylines, right? So Marvel was really good, you know. Honestly, Marvel was very good for its time, right? On crafting these like, you know, like 50, 100 episode storylines, right? You know, and they had X-Men too, right? X-Men was amazing, right? And you know, Wolverine, Jean Grey, how it's relationship drama and the bad guys and betraying and so on. It was a great storylines, right? You know, the original kind of X-Men storylines and Spider-Man storylines and so on are fantastic, right? With mostly, of course, with Stan Lee and so on, Jack Kirby, Stan Lee and so on, Steve and so on. The original Marvel was just fantastic, right? So I think I used to have a YouTube channel about Marvel, right? I used to have a Marvel channel like 10 years ago, right? And I also about Marvel the channel. And my issue with Marvel, right, is that again I really love Marvel growing up, right? I love anime too, but I also like Marvel, right? But the issue again, of course, this really could be another video, right? Is that Marvel to me just kind of like collapsed, right? You know what I mean? Like Marvel, with the popularity of the movies and so on, even before that, especially with the movies, while the movies are selling well, right? So Marvel made more money, right? Disney was Marvel now, and they made more money, right? Making these movies, right? And this is before the movies, but especially with the movies, right? They were making all this much money, but obviously the culture changed, right? And they were still making so much money on the movies that they kept producing worse and worse comics, but are still making more money, right? Thanks to the movies, right? So their quality of Marvel went like that, right? You know, in like the 2010 or something, yeah. In from like 12, 13, Marvel used died. I used to have a YouTube channel actually about Marvel, right? And DC Comics, but mostly Marvel in like 2009, 10. You know, we're talking way back here, right? And then I was just so tired of it, right? I just couldn't read Marvel anymore around 11, 12 or so, or 13. I just dropped it immediately. So I moved to another country. So I working at Blizzard, right? And at that time, and I moved to work at Blizzard, and then because I moved to work at Blizzard, and then I just dropped Marvel and DC. I was like, I'm just tired of shit. I was reading it monthly still at the time, right? But then I was moving and so on, so I didn't I missed a few months still, right? Moving, getting in a new place and so on, right? And then I just never picked up again. I was like, I'm so tired of it. I tried a few times, and I was like, oh my god, this is worse every year. It's just worse. It's just so much shit, right? And it used to be so much better. And every year it got worse because the movies kept making more and more money, and the comics that had infinite money to do dumb shit, right? It's low quality, right? And anime and manga kept getting better, and Marvel kept getting worse, right? So it to me is a very huge, it's like a soul, scarring my soul, right? Because, don't get me wrong, I loved anime and manga too, right? I wasn't only a Marvel guy. I loved manga and anime too for all my life as well, right? But as a kid when I grew up, right, I read about all the Marvel comics, right? And the mangas, you know what I mean? I was reading Dragon Ball and One Piece and Spider-Man, you know what I mean? But then I was like, I just completely jumped away from that. Completely. I was so disappointed in where Marvel and all this, especially Marvel, where they went, right? And it's like 12, it's 11, 12, right? And look at it today, it's even worse now, yeah. This is like 10 years ago, right? So I stopped doing Marvel stuff like completely in like 13 or whatever, right? And it's just, I have, on this channel, I have read a few of the movies, right? A few of the movies I like, basically. Basically, if I like to talk about them, yeah. But, disappointing. The best thing I've seen from Marvel is, of course, everything that James Gunn does. So Gotham Galaxy, and then, of course, for DC, he did Peacemaker. So James Gunn's Peacemaker on DC is the best thing ever they had, man. But yeah, I can read about it for hours. But it's really soul-hurting, man. Because again, I used to basically spend maybe to say 10 hours a week reading manga, right? 10 hours a week reading Marvel and DC. And now I'm spending like 10 hours a week doing manga and I'm 10 hours a week, I don't know, playing games, I guess, or something. Yeah, like it wasn't like I replaced it with just doing more anime. I was already doing, enough manga and anime per day, right? It was more like I just do something else instead. Yeah, it was like go to the gym or something. Singularity. I remember maybe the Sentry. The retcon the Sentry was the strongest person ever. 10,000 suns is close in there. Planet Hulk is really good. World War Hulk is really good. Yeah, that's like when that 2010 or something. But James Gunn is obviously the only thing I really like with Marvel in this game. I like some of the movies, don't get me wrong. I like actually most of the movies. I actually like them, but I don't love them. It's like they're watchable, you know what I mean? Like, I don't love them. But obviously, Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorites, and then of course, Peacemaker and so on, yeah, and also what's called Suicide Squad. Everything in James Gunn done is like a masterpiece. Everything with James Gunn is 10 out of 10. Have you seen his like PG adult movies? That's awesome. With the storyline of adult stuff, yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, Batman the series is a masterpiece, of course. That was like Batman was so good. And I also liked Superman, the Superman show. They aired at the same time, and those two was really good. Yeah, but the Sentry was kind of fun, man. But see, this is I still read Marvel, right? The Sentry and so on. This is like 8 or 7 or whatever, right? Fear itself and the Green Goblin, Osborn being, president or whatever, right? Yeah, or whatever it was. Yeah, like that's how I said good, This was like 2007, 8, right? Or something like that. But this is and I did like Avengers vs. X-Men. There's like 12, right? So it's around that time it's around this time where obviously Marvel just dropped the ball completely. One thing that I think was the biggest reason about the biggest evidence to drop the ball was that Marvel had this show. Okay, I should turn off the stream now, but I had 5 more minutes. I had to go to the gym, but 5 more minutes. I want to say this thing, okay? Before I turn off the stream. Like, I want to rant about Marvel. No, but this is one thing I want to say, guys, okay? And this definitely could be his own stream or movie. Just about this thing. I could talk about this for hours. How much I disliked, how much I loved this show, and how much I disliked everything else did. But this is a huge issue. Do you know that Marvel failed, right? So they had this show, okay? This show is called Earth Mightiest Heroes. It's a Marvel show, of course, but Avengers. Earth Mightiest Heroes Avengers, right? And this show is amazing. Okay, seriously. It's like the best show they ever did. It's that Spider-Man has. This show is so good. Like it has all the good storylines. Like it has all the the amazing storylines. It has a Skrull invasion. Like it has so much good stuff. Like seriously, and it has all the different characters. Captain Marvel's there, but she's actually good written. It's like Captain Marvel, but she's not annoying. like seriously, it is Captain Marvel. But she's actually a good character. Like I'm not making a joke. I mean, I'm being serious here. Yeah, it's Captain Marvel. She's awesome. She's like that's a good character. The Wasp is there immediately, right? So Ant-Man, the Wasp, they're there as it should be, right? The Wasp is really fun in the show. Like she's basically the main female character because Captain Marvel enters episode 20, whatever, right? So the Wasp is, Janet, she's the main female girl, right? And she has all these quirky lines, she makes fun of the Hulk and Hawkeye and so on, right? So this is following much more the comics, right? So it's Ant-Man and the Wasp immediately, there is no, the other character at the way later, right? Then they keep adding the roster, so you get Black Panther in there and so on, they keep adding more and more Avengers, right? And they throw in like Iron Fist and Luke Cage, and it's like all the goddamn characters are there, right? And this show had like Galactus entered, they had the Skrull invasion, they had all these like really good storylines. So it was following the comics much more closely and picked out these like crossover events on the comics, right? And had like a great Baron Zemo in it. This show was fantastic, seriously. This was a 10 out of 10 show. Okay, and it was incredibly popular. It was so popular. Best show they ever did. What happened? What did happen? Well, then the movie happened, right? And they made a new show. Bam! The movie happened, right? The Avengers movie, not the other movies with the Avengers movie happened, right? The first Avengers movie happened. And that movie made so much money, right? So they made a new cartoon show. This show. and it was way worse. And then you knew it that Marvel had, you know, shit their pants, right? Because that is a perfect example, I think, when Marvel truly shit their own pants, right? Because they had this, again, amazing cartoon show, right? That everyone loved. It was like incredibly popular. All people were reading it. Everyone was like 10 out of 10. The storylines were amazing. The writing was amazing. Everything was spot on with all the characters. And they had 40, 50 characters, right? They kept in new characters. Like, all the Avengers was there, you know, it was Black Panther, Swordsman. Like, everyone was there, you know. Everyone was there, right? It was so a good show, too. And all the dramas had the Vision and Wonder Man. It was like, everything was there. It was fantastic. Truly fantastic. And then the movie made like $1 billion, right? The movie made too much money. So they scrapped the show completely, even though it was the best show they ever made, right? The most popular they ever made. They scrapped that show, just like that, immediately. And made a new show where they reintroduced them again, right? And then they rewrote the cast, right? So, of course, they removed Janet, they removed Ant-Man, you know, they removed the heart of the show was Janet, they removed it completely. Throw in, you know, Black Widow, right? Because Black Widow had to be there because of, you know, obviously Black Widow from the movies, right? So, Black Widow was in the first show, too, as a supported character, right? Because Black Widow has never been that popular, right? Actually, in the comics, no, Black Widow has never been that big of a character, right? She's been more popular, but not never. She was never like a main Avenger, right? You know. So Janet, of course, is the main female Avenger, right? So they had to rewrite the show, right? They had to, you know, remake the show, right? And you know, get like Janet in, remove Janet, remove Hank Pym and so on, right? Focus on basically rewriting it into more like the movie way, right? They still had all the storylines, but they kept like re-entering that car, and then they have to throw in, you know, the movie characters quicker, right? Instead of actually writing a good storyline. So they had basically the best show that Marvel has ever done. They threw it away just for no reason, just for like whatever, like it was gone, right? And then then they just like threw in a new show with like that kind of half-assed copy of the movie, right? Just to merchandise on the movie, and that really shows you how they completely went away, right, from making quality shows, quality comics, right, and instead trying to be like, how can we write a comic that can sell extra numbers based on the next movie? You know what I mean? That's how they completely threw it away, right? It became all about the money, right? It became all about like, okay, in next year we're gonna have a Captain America movie, right? So let's make more Cap comics, right? Next year again, we're gonna have a Captain Marvel movie. Let's make 3 different Carol Danvers comics and her own TV show, right? To support that, right? That's how it started working, right? So that immediately ruined it. You can ignore all this SUV and Vogue and everything. That's the biggest issue, right? The movies made too much money, so they had to like start. They had to start trying to like, you know, make the comics be at the movies, or vice versa. They had to like force it in, right? To try to make extra money and so on, right? That's the massive issue. They completely stopped trying to make good comics or cartoon shows, whatever, right? And instead just like, how can we make profit based on the movie projection, right? You know, oh, a lot of people like Scarlett Johansson. Okay, let's make a Black Widow comic. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm doing instead, right? Yeah, absolutely. And she has her own show now, and that's. I don't have time for this, right? But I can rant about it forever. But yeah, She-Hulk, one of my favorite characters, obviously, because you know I like muscular big ladies, right? Okay, that'll be the last thing in this review, guys. Don't get me ranting about She-Hulk. Don't start me on She-Hulk, okay? Don't get me started on She-Hulk. God damn it. But yeah, She-Hulk, of course, one of my favorite characters. Because obviously, you know, I love muscular big women, right? That's my thing, of course. I love, you know, muscular chicks, right? So of course, She-Hulk, right? Obviously, this really cool, not too much, you know, very sexy character, right? You know, yeah, like, you know, running around in a bikini, you know, great abs. No, this kind of character, that is better. You know, great abs and everything. Yeah, like that's She-Hulk, right? You can make it more muscular, but you know, this or more muscular, right? And She-Hulk is a fun comic too. She-Hulk is a great comic with like great fourth wall jokes and everything. Like She-Hulk comics are actually really good. Like She-Hulk comics are one of the best comics. Right? One of the best comics, really good comic. And yeah, She-Hulk very popular among actual comic readers in like the 90s mostly, right? Yeah, in the 90s, I think, I say most. But still, She-Hulk was a very popular character, right? And so on. And took them way too long, I guess, to introduce her in the movies or whatever. But yeah, and obviously very similar to Asuna, right? Yeah, you know, I love this kind of character, right? Yeah, she's obviously a green Asuna, right? But certainly, And then the movie can't even make her muscular. Like, I don't even get it, guys. I mean, I don't even get it, you know? I'm so disappointed in the TV show, right? I mean, I'm just like, but like, I don't even get it, seriously. You know? And some people are complaining about, oh, you know, oh, she's so ugly. She's so ugly, right? But I don't get it, right? This is how she looks in the TV show, right? It's coming soon here. I got a bad quality, whatever, you get my point. Like, I don't get it, you know? I was like, I can't be the only one who's being like, you can get an actor that's more muscular than the CGI, right? The CGI is terrible. It is terrible. But if you ignore the CGI, they could literally, right, get an actress, right? They could get like a muscular goddamn act. They could get like a bodybuilder, you know? I'm gonna go to the gym now, right, after this here. You can go to my gym, and you can find like 10 ladies that are more muscular than the CGI effect in this TV show. Like, what is this? Is a joke, right? You can find at my gym, this is Chinese woman, which is, she's Chinese, not Japanese. No difference, but she's Chinese. She's very, very muscular, and she's very good with the hand, with the bow. Like, I very few times do I meet the people that better than me with the bujutsu. But yeah, we did a bujutsu thing last week, and she's really good with the bujutsu, you know, the bow staff techniques. And she's very muscular, you know, like an 8-pack, like super ripped, okay? Very attractive, okay? Very attractive, yeah. This Chinese babe, extremely muscular. She's short though, I mean, compared to Shiak. I mean, she's not short, but you know, Shiak is tall as hell, right? So she couldn't play Shiak because Shiak is like, what, 2 meters, right? So it's like, you know, 7 feet or whatever, yeah. So that's the only issue, right? But she's very, very muscular, you know what I mean? You can easily find a woman that is much more muscular than the CGI effect they put in She-Hulk. I don't even get it, man. Like, seriously. They could have just find, you know, a bodybuilder female, right, that is tall. And she's gonna look better. And put her in green, you know. She's gonna be way more muscular than this CGI shit, right? Like, of course, if you're like me, right, you watched, of course, the what's called the classic Hulk show, right? With Lou Ferrigno, you know. You know, with Lou, right? Yeah, with Lou Ferrigno, or his pronounced, right? How is his name pronounced? Lou Ferrigno, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. If you're a Marvel fan, you're talking about, right? So we have this actor, right? So this guy plays Bruce Banner, right? Another person plays Bruce Banner. And then Lou, he of course played the Hulk, right? Because he was a big ass bodybuilder, right? Like, this looks better than the new Hulk show, right? They had like a guy playing Bruce Banner, right? And then they have this huge muscular guy that is in green, right? This looks freaking much better, yeah. So, you know, Lou Ferrigno, you know, classic, you know, yeah, celebrity actor, you know, he's a muscular guy, you know. He's still muscular now and he's old, right? Yeah. He's been in an apprentice or so on, right? Obviously, I know who Lou is, right? Yeah, I guess he, you know, he's how he looks, you know. He's a very muscular bodybuilder, yeah. And he's a great guy, you know. He's deaf for 1 year or something, yeah. I mean, I know about Lou, yeah. He's a very nice person, right? Yeah. Like, you know, just take a look at this, right? This looks better, right? Than this weird stuff where you just put like some weird CGI on her. Jesus Christ, I'm so disappointed. She is one of my favorite characters in Marvel, right? She is one of my favorite characters in Marvel, you know. When she looked at this, right, you know, yeah. You can easily find a woman with this body, right? You can find a woman in America with this body. I mean, you know, used to live in Santa Monica, right? A little bit and so on, yeah. You could go to Santa Monica, for example, or LA, you know, or whatever, right? Yeah. So I used to work in Santa Monica a bit, so right? You can easily find ladies that has this body all over the place. Like, I don't understand Marvel. You can just go out on the street in Hollywood and be like, that chick over there, she got great abs. She can play She-Hulk. You know what I mean? They can just find someone to like be green, you know? Like, it's just so weird. They have worse CGI than how a muscular woman. Yeah, the actors look nothing like her, right? Her in normal form, and then they put CGI on her, and it's just like, but you could just find a muscular lady. You could just find a bodybuilder that can just flex her muscles, right? And she's gonna look bigger than her. And it's just so weird. They don't need a CGI for it. And if they're gonna make CGI, right? Am I the only one? I would have preferred, if you're gonna make CGI, just make her freaking ripped, then, you know? Okay, so we're gonna make CGI. We're gonna, you know, CGI her up. You know, we're gonna CGI her up. Like, give her freaking, you know, where is it? There's some good image. I want to put some absurd. I want to have one of these where she looks weird, right? This is an old. This is from the old show. Okay, it's a big example. This is from the old show. This is from like the Taz show. Okay, guys, the Taz show. Yeah. Give her this body then, you know. Give her this body then, right? Okay, so we're gonna CGI her, but make her massive then, right? At least make her freaking massive. Give her a huge upper body, right? Give her, you know, the 8-pack, you know, give her like a huge abs, right? Make her arms be massive then, right? Yeah. If you're gonna CGI her, right, make her look really, really muscular then, right? Otherwise, right? Yeah, otherwise, find a really attractive, muscular, bodybuilder woman, right? To play her, right? Like a tall, you know, 7 feet, huge lady, right? Taller, right? And of course have another actress playing her normal form, right? You know, before she turns big, right? Fine, right? And or otherwise, make her massive. Make her freaking, you know, grow up in, you know, badass size, right? Now she's turning like slightly bigger. Yeah, now she's like now she's like now she's actually slightly bigger. This is so bad. Yeah. She's part of the episode 4 in comics too, so. Whatever. Rant over, guy. I gotta go to the gym now. I got all my energy out. But it's just, She-Hulk is a perfect example of, I just don't understand what they're doing, right? You know? Because obviously, people are gonna complain about, you know, Vogue, SCV, or whatever, right? But I'm just like, but if you're gonna have She-Hulk, right? She-Hulk, muscular, big-ass lady, right? Obviously should be, you know, pro SCV or Vogue or whatever, right? You know, very, physically strong, appealing female character, but also with a high degree, right? Lawyer, you know, working, you know, high degree, also. Make her big and badass then, right? Why are you making her just slightly bigger? It doesn't make sense to me, right? People can complain about, you know, Captain Marvel being so powerful and all that stuff. Oh, he's so SCV or whatever, right? But I would be like, what She-Hulk thing is, she's supposed to be a very muscular, you know, woman, right? Yeah, I was like, why can't you make her muscular for? It's just like, it's the worst of both worlds, I feel, right? Like, they can't, like, yeah, it's the worst of both worlds, because it's like, but at least make her super muscular then. It's just so weird, right? Isn't it very strange? Because I understand, right, how they act, right? I understand how they think, right? They don't want to make, you know, the woman too sexy or whatever, right? Okay, fine. So she can't run around in like a bikini. Okay, fine, you know. Okay, fine. But can't she run around in like this image here? I feel isn't that revealing, right? You know, show her abs, but you know. But I understand they don't want to do this thing, right? Because it's like too revealing, you know, it's too sexy, right? I understand that they don't want to do that, right? Okay, fine. But, you know, this should be reasonable, right? And she's very muscular, obviously a very powerful woman, right? You know, very muscular, strong woman. Just give her that outfit, right? You know, give her like, yeah, make her freaking ripped then, right? Don't make her like, you know, fake ripped. It's just so weird because in my opinion, right, doesn't that go against what they believe in? Doesn't that go against what they want? They want to have, you know, strong female characters and all this stuff, right? I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be honest here. Pay for this thing, but I'm gonna be honest, right? This is one of her newer outfits, where she looks way too masculine. This is one of her newer looks, right, in some of the comics. My image is weird. Image is very long. Whatever, you get my point. This is one of her newer looks, right, in the comics that some artists have done. And people hate this, right, because it has so no sex appeal, of course. So this is terrible, right? Her hair is short too, right? She looks like a man, right? This is terrible because if she had longer hair at least, she's like a ponytail behind her, yeah. But she had much longer hair in her face and so on, right? I think it still would work because, you know, it's just way too rigid, right? So this, of course, is a bad design too, from one of the newer comics, right? But she looks just too manly, right? And the thing is that, like I said, I love muscular ladies, right? But this just looks weird because her face is just so, you know, squared, right? It's just weird because her face is like that, her hair is like, it looks like way too, it is an ugly image anyway, right? It's an ugly design regard. The design is just bad because her arms also look not muscular. You know what I mean? Her arms are massive, right, in this image, but at the same time, her arm is just like a one big block, right? You know, the art is really bad, so her arm is just like a one big brick kind of thing, right? So it actually looks less muscular because her shoulder, you know what? The art is terrible. The shoulder should be bigger, right? The shoulder should be bigger, yeah. If her shoulder was bigger, right? If she actually flexed shoulder more, because her shoulder should be like here and her bust, yeah. Her proportions are all wrong, right? Yeah, the shoulder should be bigger than the biceps. Doesn't make any sense to have. This is actually kind of how people think that some people should look, right? If they exercise at the gym, but terrible, right? So some people look at it in real life, it's terrible. But I tell people all the time, right, that my biceps were actually pretty big. I don't want to flex too much here, but seriously, people think I have tiny biceps, right? You know, because I have like these kind of biceps, right? You know, but actually my biceps are like 17 inches or whatever. Like but they look pretty tiny, right? But because I have my shoulders are massive, and my forearm is like 15 or whatever. Yeah, so. I train, you know, a lot, right, with my forearm and so on. So I can't get my finger around my hand and so on. So I have very, very, you know, yeah. So I have like a, you know, muscular way, right? You shouldn't have too big biceps actually, right? Like a lot of bodybuilders, right? They get the really big biceps, but they actually have small forearms and small shoulders, right? Which makes your body weak. Honestly, it makes your body really weak. You're supposed to have an even distribution of muscles in the arm, right? This is kind of how this art is, right? The artist is like, I'm only gonna give her, you know, bicep muscle, right? I'm not gonna like flex her other muscle. So her arm looks really weird. But all that being said, this is my point, right? All that being said, this thing here looks better than the movie or the show, honestly, because the show is this really bad CGI. She basically turns green, has no muscle, right? You know, I would rather have her seriously turn into this, like this huge. Basically use the Hulk with very flat boobs. Yeah, I would rather have this thing seriously still though in the show than what she gets, right? Because now she's just basically, oh, I get like 1 inch taller and I'm green, you know, no muscles. I'd rather have her become a freaking super muscular woman, even though she looks ugly. But I'd rather have that. Yeah, Rob Liefeld. Rob Liefeld's art, man. Rob Liefeld is like the arm is bigger than the whole body. Oh, god damn it, don't get me started on Rob Liefeld. Of course I know Rob Liefeld is, you know, Deadpool and so on, okay? Okay, people don't know who he is. Okay, I show it before I start the stream. He's so funny. Rob Liefeld, he's a legendary artist, but, I mean, Rob Liefeld is like, his art, he's very legendary, you know, for a lot of characters in Marvel, and mostly Deadpool and so on, and of course Cable. But the thing with Rob Liefeld is that he draws some of the arms and the body. They're so weird. He draws them, like, he gives them arms that are like, the whole hand is like big as their arm or something. Like, what is some good? I'm trying to find the best Rob Liefeld image. Like, he does the character in such a weird body proportions. You know, like their body are, like the upper body is like a man's, you know, hand is as big as his whole body or something. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make any. Look at the images here, people are making fun of him. I'm sorry, but it is so funny. It is so weird, his art, man. Like, he's legendary, but at the same time, I mean, he's terrible. Like, some stuff he's done is just so weird. Oh my god. Oh, this is classically. And the gun has to be bigger than the body too, right? Yeah, they have to have like a machine gun that is as big as their whole body too, you know. You need to have like a machine gun, right? That is like as big as their whole body. Like their whole... No, he's really legendary, man. Like, he's goddamn legendary. Rob Liefeld is like, he's a gem, man. I'm just trying to find it. Oh god damn it! I'm trying to find the best image of Rob Liefeld. Like Rob Liefeld arm, like he has this thing, right? When he draws the arm, and the guns are so big too. Like they have some weapon, right? And it's just like the gun is as big as their whole body is like a, you know. Oh, here it is. This is perfect, man. Like this is Cable, man. It does a lot of Cable, you know. X-Force and yeah, this is a classic Rob Liefeld, man. Look at this image, man. Like this is a freaking Rob Liefeld. Cable comes in there with the shotgun or whatever it is, like Cable with a laser gun, and the whole gun, you know, is like bigger than its body, right? Yeah, so it's like Cable, Domino, and so on, right? And of course she got Oppice and like this guy's freaking king. He's the god of king, man. Look at this. This is what I'm looking for, yeah. Look at this image, man. Cable comes in there, right, and is carrying like his weapon, right, is the whole body, right? Domino is smaller, right? Her whole chic, next, you know, sexy, lucky power Domino, right? She's tinier than his gun, right? Yeah. He can draw Oppas, man, but he also draws guns, man. Like the shotgun is, his like lace shotgun is bigger than her whole body. Like, and his body too, man. Yeah, like this weapon is so big. Holy shit, man. It's so big. It is crazy. But I think with Rob Liefeld, everything is just big, right? Everyone got big knockers. All the girls got like, massive knockers, right? Every female got like massive knockers. All the guys got arms that are big as trucks, right? And the weapons are big as the whole body. Yeah, like he's just like everything he does, right? Everything is just maximized, right? Everything is just like max size, right? I think that's kind of where you think about with Rob Liefeld, right? Everything is just massive. The boobs are massive, the ass are massive. It's just like everything is big, right? It's just like everything has to look absurd in body proportion. Like this guy, man, he can't draw anything and not give them. Like, what is this? Oh my god, this is even better. Oh my god, look at this guy's body. Holy shit, man. Rob Liefeld, man. Like, look at this guy's body. What is this, Rob Liefeld? What is Mr. Liefeld? Look at his body, man. There's some oh my god, there's some, what's it called? Time hourglass figure on a guy here. Look at his body, man. Like his torso, it is so tiny, and his upper, his torso is massive, right? And his little stomach is like, yeah. His, but in a way you do like it, right? Because yeah, he does cable. Everyone got a massive gun. All the girls got a massive boobs. Yeah, I mean, you do love it, right? Because, yeah, Rob Liefeld, when he does cable, it's like, yeah, the girls get... Everyone is super busty, everything is super, super big, right? And, yeah, all the body shapes are, like, absurd. This is one is beautiful, man. This is a classic. Why don't they have a backbone, there is no feats, man. He doesn't draw feats. Like there is no one has feats in his comics, man. He doesn't draw feats. They only have upper bodies, man. They all skip leg day, okay? Everyone skip leg day in Marvel comics, basically. Look at her body. You gotta love it though. Spine is like, I mean, this is like, you got a big ass, yeah. Like her spine is basically like, I don't know, it's S-shaped or something. It doesn't make any sense, man. Like okay, this is very American, right? Yeah, but if they have feats, he basically never draw feats, right? He hides the feats. He hates our feats, man. The feats are like, doesn't exist, man. But look at her body, man. She got like this like absurd curve, right? Yeah, like her back, her ass points out, her back is like turned, and she got big tits and everything, yeah, and the huge, muscular arms. But it's just like her body proportion are just insane. That doesn't exist, man. Like it's. No, but it is good in a bad way. I mean, but it's so overkill. But yeah, feet. If he ever draw feet, they're tiny as hell. That's a good example of it. If he ever does feet, right? He basically makes them, yeah, like I said, tiny. Like, he basically doesn't do feet. Like this is the image here. You can't even see the feet. Like you have to like zoom in there to get the feet. He doesn't like do feet. Yeah, they're tiny triangles. Like he doesn't do feet, right? He gives them like upper. They all skip leg day, right? This woman, she got like huge tongue ties, I guess, massive up eyes. They all skip leg day. It doesn't exist, It doesn't exist for him. Leg day isn't a thing for for Rob Liefeld. I mean, mostly in Marvel comics or anime comics, mostly in Western comics, right? They kind of skip leg day, right? Yeah, they usually got huge upper bodies and they get more. But anyway, yeah, that was long ass topic. God damn it, got me started on Rob Liefeld, man. I mean, I was like up at Rob Liefeld, and he's like a legendary. He's a legendary guy, He's just a freaking legend, man. But anyway, guys, please subscribe, slap it so on, share the video on the good stuff, right? Subscribe for animes and so on. And I gotta make a Torgal video. I gotta make a video about Torgal, definitely. I have. It's probably the 10th time I'm on a stream being like, oh, Torgal is the best comic ever. Like, it's probably the 10th time I'm like, oh, Torgal, you like Berserk, guys? Seeing this Torgal thing? I think that the 10th time I mentioned that how much Torgal is better than most comics and mangas. But, yeah, take a break, take a gym and so on. And so let's say in like 1.5 hours then I'm gonna go on Twitch. I'm gonna do Made in Abyss. I'm gonna watch Made in Abyss episode 7 and 8. It's probably about time for today. So there's probably 2 episodes there. But this topic is good though. I mean, like I said, right, I used to have a Marvel channel in the past, and obviously I know everything about Marvel. Especially, I know everything about Marvel, right? And DC most as well, but especially Marvel, kind of in the past, you know what I mean? Like Marvel from 60s to forward, right? So it's like 2010 or whatever, yeah. I really know my Marvel stuff in those kind of, especially 80s, 90s, early 2000s, right? These years, right? When I grew up and so on, especially those years, right? I really know my Marvel stuff. But it's just like I said earlier, I just completely was like Marvel to me, right? As I mentioned, when the movies got too big and so on, yeah. I was just like, I'm out of this. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Good sleep and so on, yeah. But I see you guys then made in Abyss, and on YouTube I put up the what's called the edited version, right? Because on Twitch we're just doing it fully, and it's interesting in some sense. On Twitch you can definitely kind of push the limit a little more on what you show and so on, right? And then on YouTube I have to edit it before so you can see if it doesn't get copyright and so on. So they did it into it. But yeah, made in Abyss. I think it's good so far, and I'm interested in hopefully seeing someone brutality maybe, right? And so on. So that's today, and tomorrow we're gonna watch more Made in Abyss then, right? Because now every anime except like Shield Hero is finished, right? And I guess the first anime I will see then is Bastard, right? I think Bastard is probably the first anime out this season then, and then Rent a Girlfriend. Simp. It's gonna be nice. Rent a Girlfriend and Bastard, yeah. So like Simp Sama, badass dark fantasy, very good difference. Yeah, but anyway, see you guys and have